All right, welcome back to Red Skies, the Tuesday night version. For those of you who wonder why I say that, it's because I have another version that's private on my channel and you can't see it. Um, um, so last time, well, let's take a step back a little bit because it has been what 3 weeks or so. So you guys were all stuck on an island, had done a whole little thing there with various tribes and things like that of Malazan that were living on that island, leading to some ziggurats that led to some strange portal where some nasty monster of nightmares came out of. You fought that for a bit and closed the portal, and that kind of put everything back into order on this island. For about a week, you guys were kind of, again, you're crashed on this island, so you're stranded on it. So for the next week after that, did a variety of things, kind of settled into the, the castaway life, so to speak, until until about 4 days ago. You guys came back from staying the night at one of the villages on the island to see a ship anchored off the coast. Heading in, while you kind of took a look around there and noticed that there were some people ferrying, some kind of crewmen were ferrying your friends from the Maiden's Folly, friends maybe a loose term, your acquaintances from the Maiden's Folly to that ship. Going down in there, you confronted them, and basically, instead of fighting them, you decided to surrender when they asked and became a member or crew members of the Defiant. The Defiant is captained by one Mad Dog. Mad Dog was known to some of you as one of the pirates in the Sea of Tears. That's relatively infamous. He's known for attacking ships in the trading lanes, sometimes sinking them, sometimes not. You weren't too sure of his reputation initially because the ones that he kills you don't hear anything from, and the people that you do hear stuff from basically tell you that he is a hard person, but that's about it, or at least that's the rumors you got. Being on the ship for the last 4 days, the ship started taking you guys to the southeast. At least that's where you figured you were going based on sun and the suns and that sort of stuff. And you guys were immediately accosted by the boatswain of the actual ship, who goes by the name of Mr. Scabs. He took a pretty harsh. He didn't like you guys at all, and so the first morning of your stay on the ship, you're pretty sure he's the one that sent down some of the crew to prevent you from getting up to the lineup for the day's work. Most of you, all of you except for Marcus, were unable to make it to the lineup, and so got lashed as punishment. But over the next couple of days after that, few days after that, you settled into the crew, some of you helping out with the cooking, most of you helping out with various things like rigging and being swabs and that sort of stuff. Most of this has been relative. You've got to know some of the crew, which suddenly I don't have part of my thing open. And so, given all of that, things were at least maybe not great, but at least turning a little bit around. Until the previous day when you guys set anchor outside of what was pretty clear to you guys was one of the Gallenveer Cays. Small island with basically a single, maybe 500-foot, mountain that dominates most of that island. You were kind of on the southern side of the Cays. You were pretty sure based on where you're at, because you know that there is a small port called Gallen in the Cays themselves. You also know that the Gallenveer Cays are claimed by the Mirgale League. Everything seemed to be okay. You weren't sure why you had stopped here, but there you were. You were kind of given a little bit of, shore leave isn't the right word. You were sent off to do some crabbing, but in general didn't have to do as much since you guys were anchored. And so did your regular evening, went to sleep, woke up in the morning, and everybody made it into line except for the halfling named Drogo. After a sort of short search, just to make sure he wasn't in his bunk still or not like that, basically the ship was searched top to bottom until you guys noticed, or I think it was Dresd'a that noticed that there was a box on the ship. And let me put this up. Yes, the main deck. Don't with vision. Shouldn't need anything. How did this break? That was really weird. Oh, because I'm on the wrong one. Sorry. It is upper deck. Activate. There we go. Upper deck. So you noticed on the deck a box below where the tiller is, or the wheel, and you notice that it seemed to be locked in this case, or not locked, but it seemed to be different than before. Looking inside, noting that to some people, they looked inside, and inside was found Drogo, the halfling. He was unmoving and not breathing, and clearly dead. And that's kind of where we stopped last time. You guys had just been determined that he was dead. Scabs looks up and he says, "Red, we got he seems to be dead. Red." Red comes down and checks him over as well and says, I will alert the captain. Wait here and keep all of the crew on board. We must figure out who the perpetrator is." I also just noticed that there's a cat in place of cat. Nicely done. You guys wait for a minute, and Red comes out with the captain, with Mad Dog Reed, and they talk for a little bit in hushed tones before Red comes over and says, must figure out who here last saw Drogo here. And nobody pipes up or anything like that until Scab says, he was on night watch. He was on night duty with a few others. I don't remember he's like, I don't remember who with. I think it was one of the new guys. He kind of points at Sand. Ariel, Needy, and Myrrh, I think. But I don't remember who we all had on deck last night. And Red kind of gives him a sharp look, like, how do you not know who you put on deck on duty for the evening? But kind of waves it away and says, you heard I mentioned. Did you see him at all? Did you see Drogo that evening? And nobody says anything. At a certain point of awkward silence, not from me, but just on the show, on the thing itself, the girl you guys have been talking to, True Aerra, she pipes up and says, "Hey, doesn't he normally wear a necklace of some sort? Like, I don't see it on him." She's been kind of looking over the edge, or looking kind of towards the box. And Scabs goes, "Oh yeah, he has like that gold chain or something that he has around his neck. Yeah, you're right, that isn't there. We should probably go see if we can find it." Red says, "Scabs, search the crewman." Search the galley. Search the ship. Sorry, holy cow, I'm having problems. And so given that, search the sky. The two of them start going through the ship. And at some point, pardon? Sure. You can give a perception roll. Insight's probably not the right thing yet because you're just looking around at those people. A lot of the crew members are kind of shuffling a bit, especially after they're like, "Hey, we're going to search stuff." But no one seems. I mean, it's a crew of pirates. Most of them don't seem truly guilty about anything. True looks a little off-put about the fact that there's a dead guy there, or that the halfling is dead. The female gnome Blimby, she also, when you're looking at her, she's just staring daggers at scabs the whole time, not really paying attention to the rest of what's going on. Remember the gambler Sabir, he kind of looks around quite a bit, but he's always been a little shifty. And the rest of them all kind of various stages of, yeah, I'm bored, let me get to work, or hey, I thought we were supposed to have the day off, to outright don't care. No, Blimby was one that has talked to you a few times. No gnomes have been abusing you. Yeah, it is. You are anchored off the island, the small island. All right. So, Scabs basically tells everyone to fall in line and go stand next to your belongings in the hold. And then he and Red, the captain, Red speaks to the captain for a little bit more, and then the captain heads into his chambers. And then everybody else, and then Red and Scabs start heading down. No, you haven't had a chance to look at any of that. Like they. Okay, so you guys head downstairs. Second. Getting down there, you can see everybody sort of stand by their footlocker, and Scabs and Red start kind of going through the things. In fact, when they come up to a person, they say, "Open your locker," basically, and the person opens their locker, and then they kind of look through it to see if there's anything in there, any contraband or anything like that. They go through. They start with the older half elf. You remember her? She was kind of unfriendly to you guys when you first got on. They don't find any, like, the necklace that they're looking for, but they do find some contraband, some different contraband. They can't, nothing stolen or anything like that, but something she's not supposed to have. So she gets sat there, and she's like, "We'll deal with you after this," kind of thing. She seems to have some kind of drug of some sort, some spices or something. You're not sure, you can't fully see it, but it's a small pouch that they're looking at. They make it through like another 4 or 5 people with no issues. When they get to Tegwin Blevins, or Tegwin's a female, who's a swab that you've seen around on the thing. She kind of doesn't open up her footlocker initially. until Scabs kind of threatens her, and then she opens up her locker, and what they find in there is normal stuff, except that she has a dagger. And the dagger, when they pull it out, it is clearly a dagger. Well, Scabs looks at it and it's like, huh, that's where that went. You're going to be going down into the bilges, along with Imrave there. It's clearly he recognizes the dagger, and clearly it's not supposed to have been. Not supposed to. This person's not supposed to have it. They make it through a few more people, and then they come to Marcus's, your footlocker. What do you do? Marcus. Hold on. Crap. None of my, hold on. Everything we just did is not being recorded. My stuff, no, the audio. My audio is being recorded, but it doesn't look like anything else is. Let me see what's going on. Yeah, yep, I know. We haven't really lost anything, but let me figure out what the heck's going on here. Give me a second. There's why. It went to something it was not supposed to. All right, could someone speak, please?
Speaking now.
There you go. So now it's picking you up. Now I got to figure out why the desktop. 1 second, and then we can continue. We haven't. Yep, desktop is fine. Just the headphones that were broken. The headphone recording. All right, so we're still good. Mostly, like you said, I've been the one that's mostly speaking. John asked the question about perception and seeing who might be doing thing on the deck. You already got my response to all of that. You guys have been hearing it, just not recorded for the thing. So, John, as I was saying, they come to your footlocker. What do you do?
So I open it fairly slowly and kind of glance through it to see if there's anything been placed in there. Preferably before I open it.
I open it up and it looks normal, but give me a perception check.
Yeah.
Actually, no, sorry, investigation check.
Okay. I like perception better, but
yeah, it's a little different than
actually I guess it doesn't matter. It does. Oh good. Nope.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody's done anything to this. As you open it up. Red Scabs doesn't do it. Red actually goes through your stuff. She looks at you and says, not in there. Not in there at all. And then she steps over to Dresd'a. What do you do?
Oh, I'm off. I open up the foot locker. I got nothing. Right. They took everything of mine.
I mean,
there you go.
You open it up. They you have a few things, like, you have a couple things,
underwear?
But nothing. Yeah, basically whatever your little clothes are. She looks through it and is like, no, not here as well. And moves on to Hylough's. Anything you do in particular, Hylough? Just gonna open up and let him look through.
I attack them all and lash out and kill them. No, I'll just open it. I ain't got nothing to do. All right, so again, I'm just gonna open it up.
I was just like
same thing.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Scabs looks through this one. Nothing in there. Moving on to one by one, go through Rex is next. Again, not much in there. Iylis, you're followed by that. Not anything really in there. And then Praedyth, yours is next. Did you want to do anything, or just let him look through it?
Hey, Brian.
Brian might be muted.
Yeah, I'm muted. I said, no, yeah, I don't really would have, man. If they gave me like pen and paper, I'd have like notes about faith and stuff.
Okay, so you open it up and you have some paper in there. That was probably willing to do. Scabs kind of looks at it and kind of just throws it and looks through the rest of stuff. No, nothing here. They finally finish off with Aaron's last. Again, unless Aaron's gonna try to stop them. Again, find nothing. Then they move on to the other crew members that you guys from the Maiden's Folly. First, looking at Tubers. Tuber really, literally, they open it up and the thing is literally empty. There's literally nothing in it.
Welcome to Tuber, man.
Yeah.
He's trying his best.
Yeah.
He's trying his hardest.
Then they open up Aslan's, and inside there is some, basically whenever she replaces her bandage that's around her arm that's still healing, she just throws the things in there. So there's a bunch of old bandages in there.
Oh,
Gross. Nasty.
It's pretty nasty.
Hey,
Even Scabs is looking at it like, Scabs even looks at it and says, I
haven't been helping her with this.
Pull the stuff out. I'm sure you have, but
that's literally your name. It's just dried blood.
And she pulls the stuff out, and there's nothing in there. And they get to Sand, and Sand's like, "All right, here you go." And he opens it up, and I mean, even from where you're standing, it's pretty clear. On the very top of his thing is a golden necklace. And Scabs looks down and is like, "That looks like the right thing." Hey, True, you're the one that noticed this. Does this look like his necklace? And True comes over slowly, kind of giving you guys a glance because she knows that Sand came on board with you guys. And she's like, yeah, that looks like the right one. And Scab says, Track, get over here. Put this guy under arrest. Or put this guy in the bilge. Along with Imrave and Tegwin. And so they open up the trapdoor, and the three of those people are put into the bilge.
Huh. How do we know it's not that girl that just was pointing it out?
how did
She's our friend.
Because True has been talking to you since you first got on board. She's told you a lot about herself. She is someone who has been treating you kindly.
How did Sands react when
he looks at it and is like, I don't. This is, how did that get there? He acts like he has no clue how the hell that thing is there, or even what it is. Like he's like, I don't even. He acts confused by it, basically.
Can I roll an insight on that?
Yeah, you can.
I'll be right back.
Well, that wasn't the good insight. Can I help him insight to give him advantage?
Not really. No, insight is pretty personal. Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's confused. He definitely looks confused by that being in there. And he definitely claims that it is not his, and he didn't put it there. And he continues to say that as they put him into the bilge, and he's like, he kind of looks your guys' way and says, I would never kill anybody. What's going on? And he gets put down into it. And Dresd'a, you know, since you've been in the bilge before to kind of do stuff with it because you were put there once, there are 4 sets of manacles in the bilge for such a purpose as holding people down there.
And I glance around at all the rest of the people in, the rest of the crew members and stuff, and see if anyone
Perception
looks satisfied or something.
Yep, give me a perception.
What does it say? I got a.
You can't roll it in the thing?
No, I'm Sid bought me some cool looking dice, so I'm using them for at least this game. But it's a 6 + 3, so 9.
Okay.
I'll show it in the thingy.
Looking around, you don't see anybody particularly happy or self-satisfied or anything like that with themselves. Everybody looks like, some people look like relieved that it wasn't them, like that nobody's taking them to the bilge. Other people look, kind of nonplussed in the sense of, who cares? I don't care about this. Other people look like, a couple people look like, not happy is not the right word. They just look, and self-satisfied is also not the word. They look like, those new guys finally got it kind of thing. I knew they were bad apples. That kind of feel.
Can I speak up and speak for Sand?
You can do whatever you want. I mean, I'm just
Sorry,
they're taking him below is all they're doing. So
I was going to say, sir, we've been around him. I wouldn't call him my friend, but he's a very gentle person. I just can't imagine that he would do this.
Red's like, I would like to believe you, but his evidence is here. There is the thing right there. We can.
I'm just wondering if it's been planted.
It's possible either it was planted or it was stolen before the murder.
So one thing from last session, I know it's been 3 weeks, which is why I'm going to remind you. I specifically told you guys about that he had that necklace the day before this.
Oh, okay.
Remember I mentioned in passing, I was like saying, oh yeah, hey, Drogo climbs down and you notice that this gold necklace kind of spills out of his shirt and he kind of tucks it back in. So he definitely had it yesterday and you do know.
Okay. So it was not stolen before.
Yeah, it wasn't, unless it was stolen after you last saw it, which would have been probably mid-afternoon yesterday. But so there is a window of opportunity there that he could have been stolen before he was murdered, but or before his
pretty
death.
Unlikely.
Before his death, let's put it that way. No one, I mean, it looks, he is clearly dead. He was a pretty healthy rig guy who moved up and down the rigging pretty quickly. So it seems unlikely that he died of natural causes, especially given that he was stuffed in a box. But I should give you the opportunity to try to figure that out.
So, Red, can we see what killed him? I mean, I'm curious maybe he's just a thief.
Well,
a lot of people take an opportunity.
At this point in time, we have found someone who clearly has the stolen goods from the person. And I'm not 100% sure I am doing the accent that I used to do for this girl, but whatever.
It works.
And so I shall take this to the captain, and we will see what he has to say. Everyone else, get back onto board. You will be given your duties for the day. And everybody starts going upstairs, and Red goes up first, followed by Scabs, and then people start filing upstairs.
Was the body taken out of the trunk?
Yeah, it was not when you guys all went downstairs. It was still in the trunk.
Okay.
Or in the box.
I'd like to volunteer to help get the body out.
I've got some. You guys get up on deck. Scab starts giving out the orders for the day. Again, for the most part, it sounds like you guys are going to be at anchor here again today, because he only gives out orders to like 3 or 4 different people, or not even half the crew, about a third of the crew, to do stuff. When you get upstairs and you're kind of standing in line, the captain again Mad Dog again comes out of his forward chamber and starts talking with Red for a little bit, and they talk to each other for a few moments before Red nods and comes out, and then Scabs has given out the different assignments. You see that he gave out an assignment to True, the girl who's been talking to you, to Freya, was a woman that you have seen as a swab occasionally, to Sefu, the dark-skinned rigger, and Galt, the dwarf. Those guys start going around and just start doing stuff on the deck. Red, but Scabs basically holds up his hand, which you've learned is wait. Red comes up and says, the captain has decided that this sand shall be keel-hauled in 2 days when we leave from this coast, from this island. I have heard your pleas, Hylough. She doesn't call you Hylough, but as she looks at you, Hylough, and she says, you seem to believe that he is a gentle soul. Are you sure of this? She's talking to you, Hylough.
Yeah, that would. Well, I have never seen him do anything. He's mean, angry, selfish, murder, and even stealing anything, just completely out of his character from everything that we
really didn't even belong on the ship.
No, Sand was kind of the surfer boy kind of thing.
Right.
Still, but like the pirate life did not suit him.
Can we not consider that somebody may have planted it to keep suspicion off of them?
Scabs is like, yes, this is totally what these guys would totally say just to cover for their compatriot. You gonna listen to this crap, Red?
Of course, because we believe he's innocent.
Red says, hush! You must give everyone a chance to speak. This is how the pirate way goes. Just because we have found the dead body, and you can see that, sorry, Marcus, two people, Track and the fat heavy guy Khan is opening up the thing and are about to take the body out. And just because you believe these people are miscreants and do not wish to be part of have them be part of the crew. So far they have been doing their job, so I am willing to listen. Hylough, give me a persuasion roll with advantage because Dresd'a has been helping you.
Persuasion roll.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you've got quite the persuasion. Red says, I will give you until the captain gets back. If you can prove that Sand did not do this, then he will be spared and we will find the actual culprits.
Okay, I don't know what I can do. Yeah, well, it's best we can do. Thank you very much.
Scabs looks a little perturbed by this. He's like, I don't know, I don't think this is the right thing to do, but you're the first mate. I'm just following your orders.
And please keep in mind that he's not my friend. That's just what I've observed. You know, he's not like I've been around him forever and I would lie for him. I am just expressing what I've observed in the weeks that I've been around him.
See, well, let us hope that you prove his innocence.
That's all I can ask for. Thank you.
So consider,
as I must say, since you are vouching for this man, you are also on the block.
Uh-oh.
If it is determined that he actually is the murderer, then you will not be keelhauled, but you will be sentenced to the bilge for a week.
Punished. Okay.
And several lashes for wasting my time. Scabs looks a little bit happier about that.
Yeah. Didn't know that was going to cost me that much. Jeez.
Well, you're not going to get killed, at least.
Yeah.
You're not going to get keelhauled. And she turns and starts heading back towards the poop deck, and she climbs up the stairs and gets onto the poop deck. You guys doing anything? The
Red.
Okay, she turns as you say that. She's on her way.
Can we look at the body? We've seen many a dead man, but perhaps there's something there about what killed him.
Especially since I need to prove her innocence here.
Where's the murder weapon?
She turns to Scabs and says, give them access to the body. And if they ask to search for other things and look in other places, you will go with them. Make sure that they do not plant anything, or that what they are doing is on the up and up. And then she says, this is the best I can do for you. Mad Dog would rather not see more crew members killed for frivolous reasons, especially if this is the one that is correctly. Especially if this one did not do anything. And then she goes up onto the poop deck, and you see that Mad Dog is not on the ship anymore. But Scabs kind of looks at you and say, all right, two of you can come over and see the body. And he goes, Khan, hold on, leave it there for now. As Khan literally is pulling the body out, and he looks up and he's like, what? Leave it there. Okay. And he just lets go, and the body falls back into the thing.
Oh.
Two of you.
So who is our investigation specialist? Because
Who's our medicine specialist?
Yeah.
And investigation. I have investigation. I don't have medicine though.
But
Rux does.
Rux does, yeah.
He's the boy, the lad.
You have both.
Save me from the bill.
You have both investigation in. Maybe we can roll.
Yeah,
one of both.
I have
one of
both
each.
of them. I have both of them. Yes.
Cool.
Well, I will. Rux, we have faith in you. You will save Hylough because
Hylough's not going to die. He's just going to get punished.
I'm going to go also over there just to check on the body as well.
All right. Should I roll an investigation or a medicine check?
Who's going over?
Rux.
Rux,
the big boy,
and you can have two, so it doesn't have to be.
Because I have investigation as well.
Scab says you can have two people look at it.
And I am giving him. I'm giving Rux a bardic inspiration.
All right.
Nice.
That's part of my speech.
Ding, 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 ding.
So Rux and Iylis, you head on over there. The box is open. Looking at the box at this point, you realize what this box actually really is for. This is the sweat box.
Yeah.
Very clearly, this is where people are put punishment when not when they're going to get killed or anything like that, but when a lesson needs to be taught. So this is clearly that. But the box is currently open. You can see inside that it's clearly it's the halfling can lay down full length in it. If it was one of you put in there, it would be a very tight fit, especially for Rux. Rux, if you were put into this thing, it would be a super tight fit, and would probably be very, very, very uncomfortable for you. Looking down, you can see Drogo is clearly not breathing. He's now kind of cocked. He's kind of twisted a little bit from being just dropped by Khan. Khan is on one side and Track is on the other. They're both just kind of looking at you. Remember, Track is the guy who just doesn't, the half-orc that just doesn't say anything. He doesn't even grunt. Khan just is kind of leering at you guys like, whatever, get on. And then eventually he says, get on with it, let's go. Come on. Okay, this is a kind of voice for Khan, so get on with it.
I guess you see if you can figure out how he died, Rux.
Do I roll medicine or investigation?
Yep. So Rux, you start looking him over and give
medicine.
me a medicine check.
Remember, you have an inspiration.
Well, a 5 is good enough to notice that he has some bruising around his neck. That's about it.
You get some bardic inspiration.
I'm a little out of
you have
practice.
bardic inspiration. You could try to use that if you wish. I'm sorry, I forgot.
And
what is it? What's the die?
It lasts a minute, I think.
What's the die?
It's fine, but what's the die roll?
What's the die for it?
Let me look because I
It's
don't
either
know.
D4 or D6.
I think it's a D6, but I want to confirm that.
I think Bless is a D4, so D6 sounds correct.
And can't Iylis give him like a boost or something like that? Or
I don't have medicine.
Well, but you're looking too.
Yeah, he's looking, but
you can point out things.
Yeah, he points out that there's bruises.
That guy's dead.
That guy's dead. It looks like he was choked to death.
It looks like he went. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it looks like he's got bruising around his neck. That's what you currently see.
What did we figure out what the die is?
I'm looking. Sorry.
Oh, it's
a D6. It's a D6.
Plus 5, so a 10. Oh, well, I also rolled a 5. So cool.
No, that's fine. I mean, I was just rolling it to.
Yeah. Okay, so a 10. With a 10, again, bruising around the neck. You can see that the bruising, though, the bruising is very. There's a red line that's very straight and narrow that also goes around the neck as well.
So like he got.
So there's bruises around sort of like a red line on his neck.
So he got choked with like a wire of some kind?
Possibly. Something of that nature.
Peter, whenever you're done, I want to do something.
It's more whenever they're done. I mean, what do you want to do? They're currently examining this body.
While they're watching, I want to look around and perceive anyone who's purposely not looking at the body. Because everyone I think is going to be looking at it. I want to look for someone who's intently not looking that way.
Okay.
It's going to be like that.
Somebody did. In the share. Oh,
1
Jamie
second.
did. Jamie did.
Okay. Give me a perception roll. Rux, you've looked through that. Is there anything else you want to look at? You're pretty sure he died of whatever it is that's around his neck, probably being asphyxiated, so being choked.
True. Quick question for you.
Can I try to investigate the wire-looking wound to see if I can tell if it was?
Give me an investigation roll. Medicine helps you determine what he potentially died of, so it's clear he was choked to death.
Because I think the only thing he's not going to.
I will investigate.
But investigate will give you more about what's going on with the corpse.
Talking in the back.
And this one you can help him on, Iylis. So whoever has the better investigation roll, you can roll with advantage. I don't know who has the better investigation.
Let's see here.
Because you're both kind of. It's very clear that that something choked him, but now you're kind of looking over everything to see if there's anything else to notice. So
yeah,
investigation roll.
Mine's +4.
Yeah, you roll it.
Okay.
All right, so you have advantage because he's helping you.
Epic.
All right, so you got a 23.
Didn't need it anyways.
Here's all the things that you notice as you're kind of looking through the body. You notice that, as is usual for most of the riggers and even some of the swabs, and very usual for halflings, he's wearing no shoes. However, his right pinky toe is missing, and that looks relatively fresh. Like fresh in the sense that it looks like it was recently cut off but didn't bleed. Like the wound is fresh on it.
Yeah, gotcha. It never scabbed over.
Correct. Seems odd that that's the case, but you also notice that he has what you can tell is a bump on his head, and that he is missing some hair. So maybe he was struck or something like that.
Is the bump where the hair is missing, or
it's closer there? Yeah.
Okay. Is it bleeding from there, or was he?
No, maybe slightly. There's a little bit of blood there, but not a lot. Mm-hmm. So maybe he got bumped on the head and then immediately choked out or something. You're not sure. You also, as you found that pinky toe missing, and you're kind of moving up and searching on the things, looking over the body. You notice that there is a long red hair stuck to his breeches. And the last thing is, as you kind of are searching through the body and you go and look around the neck again, you notice that there is a star-shaped bruise pattern on the back of his neck, like not directly on the back, but more on like the right side on the back. That's about the size of a ring. Like it's about the size, maybe a quarter, dime, nickel, that kind of thing. It's not super huge, but it's a star shape.
Gotcha.
That's all you notice on this spot.
Is someone munching on Mike?
No. I thought I was muted.
You're not muted. All right.
So you're gonna show people this stuff?
That's all the stuff
I'm gonna point out. I'm gonna point out like the pinky toe and the ring, the small star-shaped bruise as well, and that red hair, and that's awfully suspicious.
Who has red hair?
Red.
Who has red hair? Well, Red doesn't have red hair, I don't think. But I have to check her picture again because I don't remember.
Doesn't Dresd'a have red hair as well as
well,
this dude, Aaron?
Aaron has red hair, but not long red hair. He has short red hair.
Yeah.
Dresd'a has lighter red hair. Hers is bob length, so this hair could potentially be from her, maybe. You have other people who might have red hair. The dwarf that's currently doing stuff around the thing, he has graying red hair. You don't see gray in this red hair. One of the women who keeps accosting you has blonde hair. The captain also has graying red hair, more lighter red than Galt, the dwarf, does.
Yeah, but I've never gotten a good look at that,
No.
really.
Well, you have. He's been around. You got pretty close with the first day you guys are here.
Okay.
One of the other women who was accosting you that first morning does have red hair. Mr. Scabs, you don't see any hair on. Red, the first mate, does not have red hair. She has black hair, actually.
Well, what's the point of calling her red?
Because she's got red skin. She's a tiefling.
Yeah, but that's lamer.
Let's see. There is the Tegwin, the woman who's one of the women who is currently in the bilge with sand, also has long red hair. Those are the only people on the ship with red hair.
Got it. Cool. Well,
that you know of.
Definitely. So I'm going to tell everybody.
Oh, actually, that is not entirely true. I totally lied to you. There's one more person with red hair on this ship. You and Praedyth are the only two of your group that have met her.
Oh, the little girl.
Yes, she's not little. She's slight, and she's maybe about 5'4", so she's not like a small girl. But she's the only other person on the ship with red hair.
Got it.
What are you guys doing?
Well, I want to.
You looked around.
Everybody.
Real quick, Marcus. Yeah. You looked around. No one really seems to be pointedly trying to look away from this thing. There are a lot of people that just don't seem to care, and they've went around their business. In fact, there are several people who clearly have went down to their bunks to do what they would do on their day off.
Right.
But while you were doing that, you notice, and anybody kind of out there kind of notices as well. Although, Marcus, you notice it before others. That Mad Dog comes out of his chambers, heads over to the side of the ship where you kind of notice it, but it's just regular kind of typical stuff. Two people, in this case, Sefu and who else is going with it? Sefu and actually I kind of screwed this up, but you see that Mad Dog heads over there, and Sefu and Track are basically putting the rowboat over the side. And after a little bit, you overhear him say, "Let's get ready, men. I need to get over there by nightfall." And he takes the rope ladder over the side, followed by Sefu, the dwarf that was kind of moving around on the deck. Yeah. Track, who was going to be helping Khan, but seems to have left. And you also notice that Scabs was looking at you guys, and then that Mad Dog kind of goes over and says, "Scabs, you're with me in this one." Scabs kind of looks at the captain and Red and you guys, and he's like, "But I'm supposed to be watching these people while they investigate this." And Red goes, "Ah, yes, I forgot. You are going on this away mission. I will find someone else to watch after them. Be along now." Mostly because the DM forgot to read his notes. So Scabs, Track, Galt, and Sefu get down into the rowboat, and Mad Dog and you watch the rowboat start to head towards the small island. What do you guys do?
So I'm kind of watch which part of the island they're rowing towards.
I'm going to tell everybody to keep an eye out for star-shaped rings on people's hands while they're working. Things
So
like
what
that.
happened? So what happened?
It looks like he was strangled by a wire and got his toe cut off after the fact. There's a couple of weird bruises and stuff like that. I mean,
like where? What do you mean weird?
Like the Star one was on his neck, right?
Well, I mean, so you point out the bumps and
the bump on his head.
Rux, those things look like. So what it looks like is he's got what you would call a pre-mortem bump. So somebody or something, he hit his head on something on the back. You're not sure what.
Oh, that might be.
Yeah, you're not sure what. This is Rex. This is what you understand it to be. But there's also some more bumps on his head as well. You're not sure what those are from, and they look like maybe they might be post-mortem. Because you could definitely see a spot, some blood came out of the pre-mortem one for sure. Like whatever he did, it slightly cut. There's also some slight markings on a couple more bumps, like it should have cut through the skin, but there's no blood there. Once he shows you to.
These might have been just from him dropping the body back in here.
It's possible.
I was going to ask,
possible.
does it look like the ones that are post-mortem are from when the body was just dropped on
It's hard to see. That
floor?
one, no, because if this guy's, you're not sure how long this guy's been dead. Your medicine check wasn't good enough for that, but clearly it's less than 12 hours because he died overnight. But in that time, and the body is somewhat cold to the touch. It's let me rephrase that. It is the temperature, the ambient temperature of where you're at.
About 70 degrees.
Maybe a little bit warmer because he was in the sweat box, and so that kind of warmed things up inside of there. But this doesn't look like it would be what just happened. Like from that, like you could turn him over and you can see, oh yeah, here's some marks where he was dropped. So those are different.
Could it be he was drugged? I'm asking Rex, like he was dragged across the deck, head bounced or downstairs.
Oh, dragged. Okay.
Dragged.
I thought you meant like drugged as in like a drug. Very confused.
Yeah.
At this point in time, you guys hear Red say, Lys, I wish for you to follow them around, do what I told Scabs to do. Make sure they do not plant any evidence or anything of this nature. Make sure it's all on the up and up. Lys is the blonde-haired girl, and she kind of stares daggers at you guys, and she's like, yes, ma'am. And so now there's this blonde girl about 5'6", kind of standing around watching you guys as you chat. She looks like... But continue your chat. I just want to let you know that was also happening.
Oh.
No, she's distracting me.
Oh,
she was one of the ones earlier, right? Was she one of the ones that captured?
Yep.
She was one of.
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
She was one of the ones trying to keep you downstairs.
So
it's probably he got hit in the head, then probably dragged over to the thing, and then they choked him out to kill him. They strangled him to death. I could see that as a plausible timeline.
They took his toe as a prize.
Yeah.
Trophy.
Yeah, like I said, be on the lookout for people that have weird rings. Ask them about their rings.
The wound on the tail, the toe, how does it look?
I mean, it looks like somebody
clean, or is it
sawed it off or something with that. Maybe with
is
a
it
knife
clean or like
that.
jagged?
No, it's probably with a knife of some sort. Maybe.
Is it at the joint?
Like...
Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
As you kind of look it over.
Try to beat me.
You're not trying to figure out what it might have been cut off with. So, investigation. Your investigation was just you were looking over the body. This is more specific. Well, all right, decent enough. Along with your medicine stuff, I would say you think somebody cut it off with a knife, so they probably sawed it off with a knife of some sort. So it's a little ragged, but somewhat well cut. Would the raggedness be wherever the joint was, the bones, where the bones were together?
Are there any types of initiations or
probably deliberate?
Well, he was one of the main 7 guys or whatever, right?
No, Drogo, you have talked to a few times. He was on the ship when you guys got on. He wasn't part of the group that went to the island, and and he wasn't one of the guys who was also trying to prevent you from coming upstairs.
That's right. Okay.
A guy you'd seen a few times, a halfling you'd seen a few times.
So as far as we know, there wasn't really any reason to
murder him. No, not that you know of.
Besides his cool gold chain.
Yeah. I mean, he has the gold chain looked. I mean, and having seen it now again because it was in Sand's thing, it looks like it might be worth a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
Maybe 50, 60 gold or something like that nature. You're not 100% sure. You'd have to look at it more closely. Unfortunately, now it's, Red has it.
Does anyone know of any initiations or any type of
I don't think so.
gangs or sailing type thing where they take
Well, 'cause the
toads?
wound also looks fresh, right? The toe wound looks
Well,
fresh.
it doesn't look like it ever bled, and you could definitely see, like the bone. Like this
There's
is
a
not a
bone
scabbed
there.
over. This is not a scabbed over wound. Like there's
It
probably
was cut off
there's
after
probably a
he
little bit
died
of
and
blood, but
stopped,
not very much.
and his heart
Like,
stopped.
it's not like there's a whole bunch of
pumping.
blood that came out of it. There's maybe just a little bit of blood, and it's clearly didn't.
So it's post-mortem.
Yep, it's clearly postmortem.
So I feel like our leads are there's the red hair,
Mhm.
which is the one woman.
Well, there's like I said, there's like 3 different people who have read it.
I think
To
there
be
could have
fair,
been
one of
two
those guys
people.
has left because
I think there's at least 2 people involved with this murder.
I think that
Marcus,
what we
as
need
you've been
to
kind of watching that thing, they just head towards the island. Remember, the island sort of had a natural kind of small cove bay. They head towards that. Checking every so often, you can see they pull up on shore and head into the jungle, and that's the last you see of them.
Okay. Thank you.
I think that what we would want to know, if anyone can tell us anyway, is what part of the ship he was specifically guarding. Like he was on guard duty last night, is what they said.
Well, he
Mhm.
was on night duty, so
So he was watching the ship, watching the deck.
or whatever they
Basically.
do on night duty. None of you have had to do night duty yet.
Yeah. I
So
don't
we should
want
probably
to now.
ask kind of what it's about and like where he might have been stationed if he's stationed in a specific area, because that could tell us if there's something people might want.
All right, so it was mentioned that the following people were on night duty last night, and you would know who was on night duty, but the following people you know of were on night duty. Freya, Sand was actually on night duty, Arl, Needy, Myrrh, and Drogo were all on night duty last night.
Did we start there?
I mean, you could try to see if you could talk to Sand as well.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk to Sand.
So, has anyone looked?
Be right back.
You said the wounds were to his head, the bumps that were not bleeding.
Yep.
The
Well, one
contusions?
bump looked like it might have bled a little bit.
Right. But the contusions themselves, the other contusions were going with the theory he might have been drugged. Maybe we could look at the actual stairs.
It is very clear that he was choked out with some kind of choking device.
No, I get that, and I'm just wondering where his body was drugged to or taken from, because he was knocked out.
I imagine they probably dragged him over to the sweat thing.
Right. Well, I was just wondering if you have evidence, like if he had hair or something. Maybe there's something on the stairs for the ship.
You'd have to go
You know,
do an
like,
investigation and look.
Yeah,
I have a-
that's
I have a-
what I
What I
wanted
was
to do.
gonna ask at some point was like what sort of wire type things the ship actually has. Like, is garrote wire a thing?
Yeah,
Or
garrote
could it
wire
just
is a
be-
thing. I mean, none of you have it. That doesn't mean that somebody
No.
on the ship doesn't.
So I have a question, if I could ask about thinking back about whoever it was that noticed that he was in the box and that he didn't have his necklace on.
It was Dresd'a noticed he was in the box. True is the one that noticed the missing necklace.
Okay, I mean, is it really reasonable from where she was standing that she could
Yeah,
have
she
seen?
wasn't that far away.
Okay, all right.
You guys had kind of gotten close to the box as a group. When it was
Okay,
revealed
alright.
that he was in there, everybody kind of moved forward a little bit to look. Train
Oh.
wreck, that sort of stuff. It's always the same.
Yeah, all right.
When he was tightening the garrote or whenever choking him, would the ring be in a place, the mark of the ring, where that would be where he dug in to get leverage?
Possibly.
Yeah, I'm kind of asking Russ since he was. I don't really know.
Like I said, Rux, you saw it on the sort of the back right side of the neck. Or Iylis saw it there. Pointed it out to Rux. That's what you saw.
Do I also know of any devices? I know there are devices where they tighten the garrote, like a weapon through. Do I know of anything like that, or is it more likely a ring?
Give
Is
me
my
a
character?
knowledge check. Just an intelligence check.
Oh boy! All right.
You want to ask these questions, you got to be
Oh,
smart.
I know.
That's clearly not smart.
Nope.
You're not sure. I mean, all
Yeah.
you know is that there was a star. Iylis is saying about a star-shaped bruising on the right side of the neck, of the back of the neck.
What about my torture skill? Does that help me with that at all?
Yeah, torture skill.
All right. I'm going to look at.
So, what do you guys want to do next?
Yeah.
At this point in time, Lee says, "Come on, guys, let's get on with this. You know he did it. Let's just move on. We need to get the body put somewhere, probably thrown overboard or given to the sharks. I don't know what a watery death, watery grave. Probably
Some
what they're
type
going
of
to do anyway."
ceremony, maybe.
So, what are you guys doing?
I want to go talk to Sam.
Do you
I just got back.
Normally you can't. Like normally somebody would be doing something in the bilge, but in this case, there's now 3 prisoners down there.
Yeah.
Heading down there, you see that the actual trapdoor that normally is unlocked is locked when you try to open it.
Well, I want to ask the lady that we're with if we can go down there.
Okay. I mean, Lisa says, I'm going to talk to the prisoner, the guy who murdered him. You want to what? You want to get some stories together? Are you accomplices? What's going on?
You can come in with us and listen to what we got to say. But
Well,
we're trying to
wait here. Let me find out what the first mate has to say.
All right.
And she goes and
it'd be good to know what he might remember from last night since he was on duty as well.
That's fine. And about 5 minutes later, she comes back with a key and she's like, "All right, first mate says you can talk with him, but let's keep
feel
it
free
short.
to come in and listen."
It's not a very big. The bilge isn't super huge, but she says that
or
only
feel free
one
to sit
of,
on
she
the
says
stairs
that,
or whatever.
That I'm going down there and I can take 2 of you again. Who's coming with?
Anybody want to come with?
I can go with you if you want.
Cool.
So she unlocks the door, or the trap door, and flips it open. There's a little bit of lamplight that comes in there, and you can actually see below that there's a flicker of some kind of candlelight or something. So clearly they're not in complete darkness down there. And you guys head down in there, the 3 of you. And getting down there, you see the older half elf woman. She kind of glares at Lise and the 2 of you. The girl called Tegwin with her red hair. It's kind of matted because clearly she hasn't bathed or anything recently. None of you really have. Mm-hmm. So, and Sand, who looks at you guys as you come down and looks expectant, like, so it's all a mistake, right? And Lise is like, "Nope, we still think you did it. These guys just want to talk to you. First mate said they can. So talk quick."
Cool. First I want a perception check on their hands and see if any of them are wearing rings.
On those 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Investigation.
Yep. Even better.
I will assist.
Okay, none of these 3. Let me rephrase that. None of the people who are currently in the bilge have on rings.
Cool. Good to know. All right. What did you guys see last night? Like, what exactly happened?
Sounds like, what do you mean? I did my
duty. To get your side. Like to get your side of the story. What happened? Did you see? Notice Drogo was missing at any point?
No, I was up in the. No, I started the night in the crow's nest, what he says, and I was relieved by what's his name, Needy, about halfway through. At that point, I came down and I saw Drogo was swabbing the deck, and I went below, got a quick drink, came back up. Drogo was missing at that point, or I didn't see him on the deck anymore, I should say. This is what he says. And then I went and started doing some of the rope stuff, curling up the ropes and getting everything prepared for the next day so that everything was in the right spots.
Is that closer to the morning then?
Well, maybe. I mean, look, I chatted with Needy up top for a little bit, and then I climbed down. I saw Drogo. He was swabbing the deck.
Didn't hear any arguments when you went down or coming up?
There was. He was like, Aerra was manning the tiller or the wheel. I mean, don't go anywhere when we're anchored, but still somebody needs to be there just in case. And then I don't remember seeing anybody else. I don't remember seeing. Oh no, that's not true. Freya was also doing swab stuff.
Usually, like it's dirty.
Yeah, I mean the ship is always dirty. That's why we have lots of swabs. Swabbing the deck a lot.
Not on you, John.
I.e., implying that Cat is not muted. But that's okay. That was all I saw, though. Like, I know that Mur was on duty last night, but I don't think I ever saw her.
Mur was on duty, but you never saw her. Okay.
But I don't think, and I don't. I mean, I only briefly saw Drogo. Like I said, I was up in the crow's nest most of the night.
But you didn't see anybody weird coming from the docks, anybody watching the ship, things like that.
Coming from what docks?
Or from the island or anything like that.
You guys are anchored in the middle of a small bay, so.
Yeah, but like coming from
it was dark, so I didn't see
island or anything.
It was dark. How would I see anything coming from the island? We don't have any of the big moons up. Actually, that is not true. It is the 18th. It's the 18th. After midnight, the big moon would have been up. No, I don't remember seeing anything.
Gotcha.
But I wasn't really looking for that. At least not when I got down. For the first part of the night, I was looking around and I didn't see anything either.
And wait, so was out of character? Tegway is Tegwin. Why is she down here again?
Because she has
to watch over us.
Oh yeah, she had the dagger.
She had a dagger that you heard was dagger. That's where that
wasn't
is.
Tegway the one with the red hair too?
Yes, she also has red hair.
Yeah.
And Immerve, which is the half elf, the old half elf, she was down here because she had some kind of drug that she's not supposed to have.
Oh, okay. I see.
This is what happens when there's a snap search. After somebody dies, a few other people get caught for things they weren't supposed to have as well.
Yeah, they don't get to hide stuff.
Yep.
Well, I definitely want to ask Tegwin if she was what she was doing last night, out of curiosity. Since I'm here.
So before you ask that question, give me an intelligence check.
If I would think to do that.
No, it's not thinking about the question. Whether or not you remember if she was sleeping.
That's true.
You remember that Tegwin was in the hold with, or in the hold with the rest of you guys when you went to sleep. Now, doesn't mean she didn't get up and go do something. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that when you went to sleep, she was definitely down there with you guys. That's what you remember. And when you woke up this morning, you're pretty sure that she went upstairs with the rest of you to get into line for the day's work. But that doesn't mean that she couldn't have, gone up, done something, come back down. So you can still ask the question. I just wanted to give you that piece of information.
Gotcha. So I'll probably like I won't phrase it like were you in your bunk the entire night, but it's more of a what were you doing last night at all? Just
She's
to make
like-
sure.
She kind of looks at some hair falls across her. Her hair is kind of dangling over, and she kind of looks up at you through it, and she's like, "What's it to you, mister? Does it really matter?"
Could prevent you from getting keelhauled here.
If you start suspecting me for this murder, then I get keelhauled anyway. And for stealing what I stole, I'll probably get keelhauled no matter what. So doesn't really help that I answer your questions, now does it?
Point.
All right, fine. Cool. All right,
Can I-
Aaron, you got anything?
Well,
The half-elf woman, she kind of cackles. She's like, "That one surely told you, little boy." But I'll tell you what you want to know, as long as you get me out of here. Sand's like, she's kind of, well, I don't know. I think she's going through withdrawal or something, because occasionally she tries to move towards me and grab me, and she's asked several times if I have any of the spice, and I'm just like, nope. And she's telling me, but you have the demeanor, and I'm like, no, I'm just laid back.
Just like, oh, that's good. That's good.
What do you got? What are we gonna
You're
do,
not
Aaron?
going to be getting out of here. I will say that. Not from
Well,
us
what good are
anyway.
you guys then? I didn't steal anything. That was my stuff. So at least I don't have what she's gonna get, no matter what. I'm just here for detox. And then she
I like
throws
that
up
one.
on the floor.
Can I lean down and talk to Aaron?
I mean, the trapdoor is open.
That's what I meant. Aaron, that's
I don't really fit in there.
You kind of say that as you hear
I think these guys are going to need him up.
well,
I
there's
would
like
say-
about an inch or two of water in the bottom of the build, so this starts to float on top a little bit.
We got a floater.
Anyway, Marcus, what are you asking?
So I'm trying to be relatively quiet about this so they can't hear me in a hole. But,
Yeah, I mean, they're down far enough, and with the retching and stuff like that, it's going to be hard. But okay.
So,
And it's very clear that Lise is going to hear you for sure.
yeah, that's fine. I don't care about Lise. I'm pretty sure that he probably found the necklace and was going to sell it or keep it. If we could find out where he found it, then we could find where the body came from, perhaps, like where it fell. If nothing else, I mean, I'm sure he could be a thief. I don't necessarily think.
Yeah, Sand, where did you find the necklace? If you didn't get it off the body, where did you find
I
it?
don't know what you mean.
Or- So you have no idea how it got into your stuff at all.
No.
All right. Would you know anybody that's like got anything against you?
You
That
have any
might-
enemies at this current stage of time?
That might do something like that to you? I mean, like I know we're
No,
all new
we're
here.
new to the ship. I don't
We're
know
all
if
new
maybe-
here, but like if I don't know if you've made any particular
Maybe
enemies.
somebody thinks I'm just dumb and a patsy, but I didn't put that in there. I hadn't even seen it before it was in my locker.
Didn't we see that on him?
You guys saw it on Drogo. You haven't seen. You don't. Sand wasn't anywhere
Oh, we
with
didn't
you
see
guys
it
at
on
the
him.
time.
We
Yeah,
just saw it in his locker. That's all.
Yeah, you just saw it in his locker.
Butler did it. No questions. Well,
Well, that's all the questions I have.
yeah, that's all I got. I can't
So-
think of anything else.
I'm gonna go hit the head. and
Okay.
I would like to find True if I can ask her a question.
True is working on some stuff.
Is there a bathroom on this ship?
Off the side.
Off the side, yes. I mean, there probably are some.
Well, it gives me an excuse to get away.
No, I know
from
what you're
it.
saying. I know what you're saying. I understood what you're saying. So you head off. Marcus heads off. What are the rest of you guys doing? Dresd'a, Rux, Hylough, Praedyth. Don't all speak up at once.
I just get back to work. You know, I don't.
Well, you
I'm
don't.
not helping.
No one gave you a job, so you're
Okay.
you have the day off.
I feel like we need to figure out what jobs he had last night beyond just swabbing. Like, was he swabbing the whole day?
Drogo?
Yeah.
I don't
Did
know.
we ever say what looked like caused the death? Like they look like they were
Choking
stabbed
by
or strangled?
looks like choking by a wire of some kind.
So the knife was definitely not involved.
No, there was
see
no
any
if it
stab
was
wounds.
found.
You didn't see any.
We didn't see any stab wounds on the body.
But it looked like he was knocked out beforehand, possibly, because he'd have a blow to the head.
Can we check for prints?
No.
Yeah, let me take out my CSI kit real quick.
A
Yeah, let
dusting
me
kit.
just jump
Unfortunately, you
like
can't.
2,000 years in the future. Be right back.
Let me
Not
Sherlock
2000,
this
but-
real quick.
Wait, someone may have a zone of truth, but
Yeah.
I do not.
Zone of truth,
Okay.
I
possibly.
do not.
So,
But
how many
Fingerprinting-
more?
not really.
How many more Red Hood people do we have to go find? That's
There's
the one who's not here.
there's Tegwin. There's Myrrh. There's the captain, who's clearly not on the ship currently,
Oh yeah, I want to talk to Myrrh next.
and the
Sure.
dwarf, who is also clearly not on the ship currently.
I think we should see what Myrrh has to say about last night, and then we should figure
Myrrh.
out maybe from Red if she knows what he was doing, what Drogo was doing last night. Like, what was his duties? So we can figure
Myrrh,
out, because
more
clearly
like
either he was murdered for walking in on something he shouldn't have seen, or he was near something that someone wanted to get into. They wanted him not to like talk,
Hmm.
or there's some sort of conspiracy, which is also possible. Maybe he got cold feet.
All right, so you guys head where?
Or maybe
Marcus, you get up
fall
top.
something.
You get up top. True is swabbing the foredeck, so she's over
okay.
here.
I'll do my business and kind of walk back past her.
All right.
Real fast. Did anyone have? Do you know of anyone who has a star-shaped ring?
Star-shaped ring. No. Let me think about that for a moment. And I don't know why I've kept the game paused, but
intelligence check.
I'm gonna make a check.
Oh, that could be deception. check.
Wow.
Jeez. Well, that wasn't you, Marcus. I just happened to have you selected.
No, I know that's fine. It could be deception. It could be intelligence. It could be a lot of things.
She's like, I don't know of any star-shaped rings, but I know, let's see, back to my crew manifest. I know
Oh,
that
she's got a crew manifest?
well, I do, so I can give names. I know Freya has a ring on her left hand. I don't remember what it is though. And Blinby has 3 rings, 2 on her right and 1 on her left hand. Arl, that really angry guy. He doesn't have any rings on his fingers, but he does have an earring and a nose ring. Let's see what else. Oh, Lise has a ring, I think, and so does Myrrh. I think those 2 also have rings. Oh wait, Lisa's ring is on a chain around her neck. That's right.
Look,
That's it that I can think of. Like most of them, I think, got it from various raids and stuff as part of their treasure. And she says, "Oh yeah, I have a ring," and she points at a ring on her right hand that's on her index finger. And that one just seems to be like a silver ring with what looks to be engraved lightning bolts around the thing, like sort of engraved into the silver.
Can I tell if that's religious? Do I know of any
Well,
religions?
you remember
that have that?
she's you know that she
She
follows
is a
Vaseda.
right?
She
Okay.
follows Vaseda, the goddess of storm and strife. So
That's beautiful. Thank you. I think
I
that'll
think
help
that's
us.
it. I'm sure like maybe some of the officers I probably have some rings too. But
I'm just
I
gonna be cool.
those I don't notice as much. I don't work with them as much.
It's just thank you. It's kind of an unusual situation, so maybe that was in the wound. Hopefully, we find who did it, and also keep all of us out of it. So thanks. And I will go back and
At that point, Red suddenly, it seems like Red comes down. You guys have kind of started to come up to start to try to talk to people. Red comes down and she's like, "Oh, it seems that Scabs cannot remember to do his job very well. Which one of you wants to help the cookout today?"
I mean, I
This is
can.
job.
I mean, I can. If
I don't
Hylough
care
wants
who
to
it
take
is.
over,
Just one of you
hey,
pick. One of you pick it.
Hylough, you want to take over the investigation?
Yeah,
I mean, I can do it if you want. I can go help the cook if you want to do the investigation.
I don't know. Your food wasn't as good.
Your food sucks, man. I'll do it.
Okay. So Hylough,
You know,
aren't you the
maybe
person
we should
with
try
the
again.
actual? Aren't you the person with the actual good stats, Robert?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have good investigation, but I also have good survival. So,
I feel like
Yeah.
Praedyth deserves another chance to make good food.
okay, Praedyth, get in the kitchen.
all right.
Yeah.
So, Praedyth, you're gonna head down to the kitchen.
Not the metagame.
You'll head
Yeah.
down there, and we'll get to you in a second.
Not metagame. I think he deserves another shot.
I'm talking on my part.
True.
Rux
all
is just like, let's give him another shot.
What are you guys doing? Lise has come back up with you too.
Is Red down there?
No, Red came and talked to you guys. You came up on the deck because I believe, well, Marcus came up for a different reason, but I think you guys were coming up to talk to somebody.
Well, we were gonna. I wanted to ask Red what Drogo's duties were last night.
Red is still on deck, but yes, you can ask her if you want.
Yeah, I want to ask her that.
Unfortunately,
all we heard
the one
from
who
all-
might know that is out with the captain at this point in time. Maybe you should ask one of the others who were on duty that evening.
Okay. All we know is he was doing neck swatting at one point. But
Well, he was probably.
we're gonna
the
go talk
night
to Mur.
swabber. Who?
We're gonna go talk to Mur next, anyway.
Mur is not currently on deck.
No.
That
Oh,
doesn't
wait,
mean she's
but
got to be somewhere on the ship. She's just not.
she's on the
deck.
ship. Never mind. I thought she meant she was not
We're
here. I
going
was like,
down.
No, you
Yes.
didn't see her go.
Well, I
with-
I came from the bottom, and I'm coming from the bottom. Do I
Yeah.
see her as I come up?
As you went up,
Yeah,
She wasn't
isn't the
in the
bilge in the
hold.
bottom?
yeah, she wasn't in the place where the crew members would normally be.
Do we remember what her job was? They gave out jobs.
Mur did not get a job for today.
Interesting.
You also
We-
didn't notice her in the middle deck, probably because there's several people. There's a line in front of the quartermaster. It seems like, given the fact that many people aren't doing stuff, they're trying to get stuff from the quartermaster. And
From the
but you
lad.
don't see her there either, and you don't see her on the deck. You're not sure where she is.
Are there any places that she likes to just go?
You're not sure. You've never really done a study of this.
Not something we've just noticed.
Nope.
Okay. What other parts of the ship are there?
So there are
then?
two. There are the two. There's still two other spots. There's the captain's quarters, which probably is just
Probably
not
not
there.
there.
But there's also the crew's quarters, which is under the foredeck, like the.
Let's
the
go see
squad
if she's
quarter-
taking a nap.
No. The officers' quarters is under there.
Let's go see if she's taking a nap.
So you guys head to there. Heading into there and looking in there, you can see that Mur is currently talking to the other Alec that's on the ship, Rua, as the master gunner.
Yes, the gunner.
You can also see that that Stitches is currently in his bunk, not doing anything, and that is all you see. You don't know where the sailing master is. You don't see him in the anywhere in the quarters here.
Iylis, you're the one doing all the talking. Conversation, you know.
Hey, Hylough, you wanna?
I was going to do stuff up on deck, but
Well, I mean, this is on deck. I mean, you're
Okay.
the entrance to the officers' quarters is from the main deck.
I will tell them what I found out, by the way, as far as rings. If I'm back, if they're.
Yeah, I mean,
What did he
they're
find out?
upstairs. You did all your thing, and
What did he find out?
Hey, Mur.
Wait, what did he
Mind if
find
I
out?
talk to you for a few minutes?
both Mur and Rua look at you like.
Excuse me, sorry.
We're
I don't
having
mean to
a
interrupt.
conversation here. You will need to wait. Is what Mur
Yeah,
says.
just let me know when you're done,
Don't expect that will happen.
please.
And she goes back to talking to the ally. They seem
Worst
to be talking
bad cop
about.
ever.
They seem to be talking about, from what you can overhear right now, they seem to be talking about the amount of black powder they currently have.
I see.
Rua seems to be unhappy with the current amount, given that they might be attacking. It sounds like Rua is implying that you guys are going to be attacking a ship soon. That's sort of the implication you get as you listen before you interrupted, and as you listen slightly after as you kind of wait. And after like about 30 seconds more, Rua just stares at you, just stops talking and stares at you for a moment. And then and then she's a female Alec, says, "Get away. This is not your discussion to listen to."
All right. Well, I will step outside then.
You will be able to talk to a person when they are ready to talk to you.
Got it.
Until then, find something better to do.
Don't forget to listen at the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen at the door. That's obviously what I'm gonna do.
What's her name here, though?
Pardon?
Isn't what's her name there with us though?
The lady that
she's around. She's not going to help you out. Red is
No,
not.
I did not expect
No,
her.
I meant like if she's gonna be like, no,
No,
I
the
meant, like,
blonde
is
lady.
the person who's escorting us gonna be like,
Yes.
well, don't listen to them. Let's go somewhere else.
No,
Like force us to leave.
no. She chuckles a little bit, and that's about it.
All right, cool. I'm just gonna like step out and let them have their conversation.
All right.
But
You step
like,
out, and then you wait.
I'm gonna wait.
All right.
I'm not gonna do anything else because
You wait for about 5 minutes, and then the sailing master comes out with your staff.
oh,
And starts
Hey.
walking towards the kind of walks and goes up the stairs and goes onto the forecastle deck and starts looking around. And it has this kind of look on his face, like something seems off to him. That's about it.
well,
What are the rest of you guys doing?
priorities here.
So
Figure him
Talk
out.
to the sailing master now.
Man,
I
you guys could talk to Mur, right?
I do want to ask, which side was the wound on? As far as if there someone's garroting, it was the right side of his neck or the left side of his neck for the ring wound?
The
You know what I'm
ring
asking,
wound.
guys? The ring wound.
I don't remember.
I think you said
I
right.
thought it was on the back of the neck.
But I mean, was it more
Or
right or
something
left?
like that.
I've mentioned it 3 times, so that's why I'm not
I know. I
mentioning
know.
it again. I might
It was
have
either
even
on
mentioned
the
it 4
back-
times, actually. So
It's either directly on the back or it was towards the right side, I think.
It's on the back.
Yeah, it's probably
Okay.
that one.
So these are the people who are right-handed and have rings on the right side. That's the knowledge I have right now. And I'll list that. So Blimby has 2 right rings and 1 left. she say what side Freya had a ring on?
She
She
did
said she
not.
wore a ring.
She just said she had one.
Okay. Are any of these people stronger than the others? The ones I'm looking at? Ariel, Blimby, Freya, or Myrrh?
Aurel is he's that angry guy that really, bitched at you guys at one time.
Right.
Like
But he had nose rings and earrings.
Yep, he had a nose ring and an earring. But he was also on duty last night.
And do any of them have red hair? Other than, I guess, Myrrh?
Myrrh has red hair.
Which is why we're investigating her.
Right. But, so that's what I've got.
Is there any way to check their hands? Like, if they strangled with something like a wire, wouldn't it have left marks on the assailant's hand also?
Possible.
Not
Possibly.
necessarily. Depends on if the wire was like, I don't know.
You could always look. I mean,
Yeah, you can definitely check.
Dresd'a, there's a whisper in your mind, and you suddenly feel like you remember. Oh yeah, if it's an actual garrote, it probably has rings, and they can just pull the rings with their fingers. Wouldn't leave a mark.
Yeah.
And you realize it's the spirit that's still inside of you that's talking to you.
That's what I was talking about.
So I just kind of think that out loud to those guys.
You have experience that would be really entertaining to hear a story about one day.
Just saying.
I kind of want to go up.
Maybe it'll leave marks on their
see
hands.
if I can
It would not.
talk to the sailmaster.
Yeah, that's all I could talk
I wouldn't piss off the Sailmaster.
I'm not going to piss him off. I'm just going to go
you're
talk
heading
to
up
him.
to talk to the sailmaster.
So my
Aaron's heading up there as well.
Marcus is going to look around the stairs and anything look like blood type thing, and maybe go
Marcus
up and
starts
see.
looking around. Hylough, Dresd'a.
I'm gonna be looking around at around the box, the sweat box, and
Okay.
seeing what I can see, looking in, around, behind, under, whatever.
All right, Dresd'a. Anything?
So the guy who looked around and like looking like he thought something was wrong, I'll talk to him and just say, "Hey,
Well,
what's
that's
up?"
the sailing master. Two guys are going
Yeah.
up there already.
Yeah.
To be
I'll go
fair,
with
to be fair, the only person who really thinks that he's looking like something's off is Iylis.
Oh, okay.
Aaron and Dresd'a, he just looks like you've seen the sailing master before. He just seems to be standing on deck, kind of looking out over the sea.
yeah.
But we're gonna go to Praedyth first. Praedyth, you get down in there. There's a line towards this dark-skinned man who you've heard tell is the quartermaster, and people are like, some of them are giving him, clearly money or something like that, gold and stuff like that, and he's giving them items and things of that nature. You can see that he's got like a footlocker stuff. Most of what the people are buying are extra rations of rum. Like, clearly they're going to go take a day and drink a little bit more and chill out and that sort of stuff. Okay. I need to take a look at something. So I'm going to pause the game here for a second, and then we'll be right back.
Cool. Break time.
Yeah, I knew that.
And we're back. So, Praedyth, like I said, you see Hamadi the quartermaster selling what seems to be mostly rations of rum to people. But you also notice that one person, Arl, again, the angry guy, basically seems to buy what is basically the equivalent of a paring knife. So it's a very small knife, but he buys it like normally it'd be something you take the skin off of an apple or something with. So nothing too big, but it just seemed kind of odd that he would be buying something like that. But that's what he buys as you head into the cook's quarters, which would be on this deck.
I'm back.
Okay, so am I. Heading in there, you hear the telltale. Clearly, the cook is still out drunk, or at least sleeping away the day. You see the chicken that normally is roosting in here is sitting there in the spot where she normally lays eggs. Otherwise, the place is just as chaotic as you normally remember it. What are you gonna do?
I guess I'll get to it. I'll see what kind of cleanliness standards I can try and keep up and then get started.
All right, so you clean up a bit. And,
yeah.
So as you're kind of banging around the pots and pans, you hear a, it's you. You're the little guy. You and your brother.
Exactly.
Wait a second. It's just you. Your brother's not here today. Clearly, I haven't
he had
drank
to stay
enough.
home.
Okay. I still have some of the crab left over from yesterday. We should make a soup out of it or something. Or something. Maybe some eggs. Oh, hey, I think I have some rice somewhere too. I think it's out in the main thing out there. We should try to throw that with some of those eggs and some crab. We can have some rice with crab and eggs. What do you think?
So it's a very intriguing idea. We'll see what it comes out with.
Okay. He kind of looks around for a little bit and he's like, "What did you do?"
I cleaned up.
This is the most lucid you've seen him between this time and the previous time. He doesn't look as drunk as normal as you saw him the last time. And he's like, "What do you mean you cleaned up? We don't clean up here."
Why not?
Well, that's a good point. Why not? Normally because I think I fall asleep, but if you're gonna clean up, then that's fine. That's fine if you clean up.
Just you need a good workspace.
Okay. We don't have to worry about food for the captain. He's gone. And we'll just give the rest of the officers the regular stuff today. However, Sky will be down in about an hour, maybe 2 hours, something like that.
Sky's the girl, right?
Yeah, the girl. Yes,
that was out of character.
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, you're not sure. She never gave you a name, so you don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why I was okay. And who's Sky?
Didn't she meet Sky the last time?
Ah, the girl. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
No, never got her name.
Sky. That's her name.
I just found out that crabs give you 10 XP each if you kill them.
Yes, they do. Except that they have to be a CR that's value that you could actually get XP from. And it would also require that your GM uses actual XP like that instead of milestone levels.
Man,
can't go farming.
I want to level up on crabs
from our crabs. You're telling me those weren't close enough CR?
No, 10 XP each.
Exactly.
Anyway,
you're telling me that
how many did we get?
CR?
Sky, Sky, she's the one that tastes all the stuff for the guys, for the officers, to keep me in check, so that I don't kill them or something. I wouldn't kill him. I get to drink all day.
That you do. What a life.
Rice, eggs,
Yep. Sure.
leftover crab, which is here. Wait a second. It's not here.
What do you
Where-
mean?
It should be right over here.
Can I have perception around the room for the?
Yeah, you look around the room, and where he's pointing at is there is a that it's like a box where he would normally keep, like, the last time you were here that was where some ham was. Because I mean, they don't have like a cold box or anything, at least on the ship. It is a thing, but not on the ship. And so normally, like, that sort of meat they keep in a particular spot, and then they spice the crap out of it and throw it into something to kind of hide it before it goes bad.
Would have thought they'd just keep the crabs alive in a tank or something.
Well, remember, you didn't use all of the last time, but yeah, I mean,
Well, I thought
some
I
of the
used a
stuff-
good bit of them.
Yeah, you did. But where he's pointing, also, you notice, looking in there, you notice that there's a bunch of things used for cutting meat, including what look to be 2 rings and a piece of metal.
The rings.
Like a wire,
star-shaped?
metal wire. No, they're not star shaped.
But
Like,
it
it
is.
should be
It
right
is
there.
like a thin wire.
Yeah,
The murder weapon.
it should
Can
be
I
right there.
Investigate that.
You can look at it,
Um,
yeah, sure. Give me an
to
investigation.
see if there's any blood or anything on it.
Looking it over, 16. It looks a little rust colored as you look it over, and he's like, "Why are you looking at that? That's not what we use to cut the crabs. That's used to cut cheese and stuff."
Well, it matches up with some of with what looks to be the thing that killed Drago.
What? Drago's dead? Who's Drago? Somebody's dead?
You probably never met him. He was a what was he? He was the ropes guy.
Well, he was a rigger. He was a
Rigger,
halfling.
yeah. He was a little halfling. He was a rigger up top.
Yeah, I never met him.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Spend most of his time down there.
So
So what?
this-
You're saying that killed him?
I was not saying that, but should I be saying that?
I don't know. What did you say? I totally missed it.
I didn't say that. I was about to ask if
Oh, okay. Sorry.
the crab meat was in some, like, because he pointed out because there's the crab meat was missing. Can I look and see if there's
No,
any-
sorry. He said it was used to cut cheese, and then you said you thought it was what was used to kill someone.
Yeah, I was telling him about the murder, but then I was going to go back and ask about the crab meat for.
Well, that should be right there. Maybe somebody had a midnight snack.
Did people come down here often to get midnight snacks?
I don't know. I usually sleep in there. He points to the room where he sleeps.
Well, I guess no crab meat then.
I guess not. Okay. Go out there. Catch 2 of the piglets. We'll roast them. We'll throw that into the rice and stuff.
I don't know how well that's going to work because they're about the same size I am, but I'll give it a try.
Okay. So you head out and start doing that. Iylis, you make it up top with Aaron and Dresd'a. Make it up onto the forward deck, and the guy's just standing there with a thing. He's kind of looking out there. He kind of cocks his head briefly. He doesn't seem to acknowledge that you're there.
How do we want to approach this team?
Your sorcery looks very advanced. Did you train somewhere?
What? Who are you?
My name's Iylis. I recently joined the crew.
So you're just a crew member?
Yes. but I have noticed that your sorcery is incredible. As I've seen, the quality of spells that you're casting seems
I
to be
am not
very.
looking for anyone to take on as apprentice or anything, so be gone.
That's not what I was looking for at all. I simply asked where you were trained.
He thinks about it for a second. He kind of sniffs and self-taught.
Like myself.
You know sorcery. You're nothing but a boy.
I've been teaching myself a few things. Unfortunately, it's come to me more than I've come to it.
Show me something.
Let's do some wind stuff.
Some wind stuff.
I don't know. I'll do a little frostbite stuff. Cast some frost on the deck or something like that.
Okay, you
and some things like that. Yeah.
Okay. He looks at it and says,
I'm not very
child's
advanced.
play. I see. Why is it that you wish to speak with me? You're but a lowly crewman.
I did actually. I noticed that the staff that you're.
He cocks his
that
head
you're
again
using.
for a second, and then he turns and looks to the top of the main mast.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear him mumble to himself, "Damn, it's back." Sorry, what were you saying?
The staff that you're using.
Oh, you mean my shiny new staff?
Where did you acquire it?
Oh, several days back. Seems it was some booty found on the island where we store much of our stuff. I'm not sure how Red acquired it, but she gave it to me. She told me to look it over and figure out what it does. Unfortunately, I am still not sure exactly. It has eluded my best efforts.
Well, would you mind if I took a look at it?
Very much so.
Just briefly. I have some expertise with magical items.
Yes, I've seen your melting frost. You do realize we are in a tropical climate. It does not really do much.
It doesn't. It's more effective against people.
If you're going to be on a ship, you should be
my
more...
specialty really is magical items.
I've never heard of a sorcerer or an inherent magic user who can do stuff with magical items.
Identifying and things of that nature.
I see.
Like what I'm trying to do is
give me a persuasion
tell them what
check.
it is.
Give me a persuasion check.
Because I know what it is.
No,
I know what it does, right?
Yeah, you figured it out. Give me a persuasion check.
Sweet.
Very well. I don't believe you'll be able to do anything with it, but give it your best shot.
I look at it and I mumble a couple things to myself so it can't hear.
Mumbo jumbo.
And I think, and I start to say, I think that this might be a staff of.
You can make anything up you want. He doesn't know.
Yeah, like
it seems like he doesn't know.
I think this may have something to do. It definitely has everything to do with the time of day.
I have never heard of such a thing from a magical staff. And by the way, he's still been staring. He's been pointed towards the front of the boat.
Yeah.
But he's kind of standing close to it. So you're kind of standing at the side and behind him. He just occasionally looks down behind him at you guys, for the most part. And like I said, occasionally he, like the one time he turned briefly and looked up at the top of the mast. He's like, I've never heard of such a thing. Why would anyone have a magic item, a staff set to work with the time of day?
Well, it would seem that this originates from a culture where they
I don't care
worship
about
gods.
cultures. I just care about results. He turns around and grabs the staff back and he says, "You do not seem to know anything about magical items. Be gone. Come back to me when you wish to learn real magic."
I will. Excellent. All right, so I leave.
Okay. Aerra and Dresd'a, were you guys going to do anything during that whole exchange?
I honestly, I don't remember what I was going to say because that was amazing.
Because you were what?
Because that was amazing.
Okay. Dresd'a, anything? Besides being
Hello?
muted? So you guys head off. Marcus, where were you headed? Sorry. Or Hylough, you were going to look around on the deck. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So I was looking at the deck and the crow's nest. I was going to look up high.
All right, Marcus, you were looking for blood.
Yes.
Hylough, what were you doing?
I was looking for anything that seemed like contributing to the murder around the
box.
sweat box
Okay.
and that area.
So both of you give me an investigation.
Woohoo, I'm so good at that. Not.
Investigation.
Each one of you are investigating different things. Oh, well, 9 isn't terrible, but it's also not great. All right.
I got a 10. That's great.
So, looking around the box, you don't notice anything different than what Iylis and Rux had already mentioned. It definitely seems as though they probably have found everything that's available. There's certainly nothing around the box that you find that seems salient to whatever's going on. You also remember that, plenty of people have walked around this box before and after the body was found. So it's very possible if there was something, maybe it's been trampled over by the various people who have gone by it. So unfortunately, that's what you find. Marcus, looking around, you don't seem to find any evidence that the halfling was in the crow's nest last night or anything like that. You don't see any blood anywhere on any particular things.
Is there anything different about the sails, maybe, or something?
Well, the sails are down. They've been down for the last day, so nothing there.
The actual mast, the wooden part of the mast, or anything?
I mean, the one spot in the main mast has a little bit of blood on it, but that's very old and dried, probably from all the lashings people get it there.
Right.
But that's about it.
Do I know who had the key? Who normally throws people in the sweat box?
Probably Scabs, probably Red, probably Mad Dog. It would be officers. They're the ones that do most of the punishments.
But the box was open, right?
The box was unlocked, yes.
Unlocked.
Which is unusual because it's normally every time you've seen it for the last 3 days. I mean, it's become just background to you, but I mean, when you think upon it, there's always been a padlock on it. There just wasn't when somebody mentioned it this morning. When Dresd'a mentioned it, you also realized, yeah, there's a padlock there, and it was gone, and it's still gone.
Is there someone here who screams out more rogue than others? More of a obviously the gambler probably has sleights of hand. I know. I'm just trying.
Screams rogue.
A lot of the pirates scream rogue to you, quite frankly.
Yeah. Anybody
rogue fighters, all that sort of stuff.
Lockpick type thing. Have I noticed anybody with? Well, I probably wouldn't notice any with lockpicks.
Ever notice anything gone missing before?
I mean, if you would like the dwarf Galt, who's gone clearly not roguey, probably a fighter. Sefu, Track, definitely fighters. Khan, definitely fighter more. Those guys are thugs. Those guys are brutes. They're not really. Their hands don't have the subtlety for that. Aurel, maybe. I mean, he's more of a lith human. He just seems very angry all the time. Many of the women, maybe they have, you know, more dexterous hands and things like that. You would have said before today that Drogo was very roguish. Clearly, he's dead.
He was roguish. He had no hit points. That is very roguish. Lousy perception roll and low hit points.
So that's kind of it. I mean,
is Myr? What does her specialty seem to be?
You're not sure. I mean, she has been kind of. The only time you've seen her is she's been taking orders from either Scabs or Red. But she certainly gave orders to the guys who tried to stop you from going upstairs that morning. So you're not 100% sure.
Does Ariel have anything like a collection of bones that I've noticed, or is he getting witch doctor style?
No, Ariel is not that kind of guy. He's got tattoos and stuff like that on, but he doesn't give off a witch doctor vibe. He just seems to be a very angry man.
Like he's a barbarian.
It's possible. But he's very thin. Like he's tall. He's probably 5'10", something like that, which is relatively tall for a shit person. But he's not packed with muscle, but he just seems very angry a lot. Bad temper, that sort of stuff.
Right. Not someone you want to cross.
You're not sure. Like he gave you an outburst at you guys that one day, but he didn't really follow it up with anything.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I got for now.
Okay. Praedyth, give me a athletics check or acrobatics, your choice.
All right, my strong suit.
All right.
Oh, it was close.
Love that 0. Let's hold that one for next time. 12 is good enough. You do catch one of the piglets, and are able to wrangle it into the galley, where you kind of get it up on the thing, and then Lube Landlubber, he takes a big butcher's cleaver and whoom, pretty much kills the little
No
piglet.
more pig.
Kills the
Off
little
with his
piglet.
head.
And then he starts skinning it and all that sort of stuff. For a man who's normally seems, or a dwarf in this case, half dwarf, who seems to normally be drunk a lot, he's pretty good with that knife, even partially drunk. And in short order, maybe about 15-20 minutes, there is a dressed pig with that is ready to be spitted and roasted.
Okay.
So
get to
he
it.
kind of gives you that and kicks you off, and then he's like, once that one's on, get another one. And we won't make you roll again. It takes you a little bit, but you get another one. On your way back, you notice that Arl is again talking with the quartermaster and gets a thing of rum. It seems like an awful lot of money compared to everybody else. Like everybody else seemed to have gone through and gotten their rum, and that's pretty much it. You even heard a few people grumbling as they were kind of doing it about, man, how is this so expensive? Why is it that I never seem to have enough so I can get something cool or something better than what I've already got? It seems odd that Arl would buy both a paring knife and still get some rum. It seems odd in comparison to everybody else.
Do like I don't know, be like perception or investigation to see if I can see anything. I don't even know what I'd be looking for, to be honest. Never mind.
What are you trying to look for?
I'm just I'm just
saying it seems
I'm
odd that he
to-
has that he in comparison to everybody else that's gone through so far, this seems odd.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what I'd really be looking for, so I guess I'm not gonna make a roll.
Okay. Real quick, do you need to leave early for stuff that's
Yeah, but I'm not gonna need to leave till like 45.
Okay, just making sure. All right, so you head back in with the other piglet, start doing all that sort of stuff. What are other people doing?
Is there a chance to find Errol's locker?
Well, I mean, you saw him open it. There wasn't a lot inside it.
There wasn't a lot inside it.
Yeah, earlier today when they looked through it, there wasn't a lot inside it. Just the normal stuff. Just there's a lot of things that everybody seems to have. Like some extra clothes, a few knickknacks here and there. He had similar sort of stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna look through his locker, but it doesn't sound like there's anything. Can I look around his bunk for any type of? Oh, yeah, actually, any type of hidden locations for anything around that he might have stashed the weapon or.
I'll give you an investigation roll.
I'm so bad at that. Can't do perception.
No, I've been learning more. When you're starting to look for things
can I
like
go
that,
with him
it's
and help him?
investigation.
Can I join up with him and help him?
That's why I trained investigation at the beginning of this.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, I
you
know.
help him, and he still only gets an 8.
I
Because
still
that's
suck.
the advantage. And
Yeah, I would have let somebody else. If he probably has
you look
better
around for a bit.
investigation.
I mean, there's all the typical hiding holes, but you don't find anything in any
Got to
of
be a
those.
hiding hole around here where, I mean, it could be a chain. Wait a minute. Do we know of a chain that choked him? I know it's not. John is not, but my character doesn't.
You're not sure.
It looks like it was thin.
Right, a thin chain someone wears with a ring, someone who likes.
I mean, it could have been the necklace, for all we know.
What color hair does Errol have? Did you tell me it was red?
Arl has no hair. He's bald.
No hair. How? So it's a halfling body. Would Errol be strong enough to manhandle? Does he look like?
Possibly.
someone
Halfling's
who
probably
lifts
about. Halfling's probably going to be 30 pounds max.
Okay, yeah, that's not it.
Yeah, I mean,
So there's nothing saying-
everybody that was on duty that night could have easily probably carried him over to the spot. I mean, 30 pounds of rope is easily moved around the ship.
Right, yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, we just don't have enough evidence to go after anyone, as far as I can
not
see.
currently,
I mean,
no.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. I'm talking to Hylough. And I don't even know about him buying a bunch of stuff. Like I said, we could go to the quartermaster.
You guys don't know what Praedyth knows currently, so
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm gonna go. Let's go to the quartermaster and see if anyone's hawked the ring.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So you guys head down into the main hold, which is the first floor down. And you can see that most of the line is like Hamadi is still there. There's only a couple people still trying to do some stuff with him. You see Praedyth running around after a piglet. He finally catches it. He like dives onto it and catches it, and looks up at you guys and just shakes his head, and then takes the piglet into the galley.
Okay.
Kind of putting something in your mouth there, Brian, but
Everything going all right,
accurate.
Praedyth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What's up?
Just
How y'all
seeing if
doing?
we're investigating, seeing if everything's all right.
Well, I did know. Let me put this pig down. Hold on a sec, guys.
So don't let it go.
And then I'll go into the.
all right, you give
and
it to
give him the
give it
pig.
to Lub, and he starts doing his thing.
And then I'm gonna grab the cheese slicer.
Okay, he
And
kind of
bring
just
it
looks
out.
at you funny and it's like, whatever. You're a weird little man.
Well, having
I really wish
procurity-
you'd stop trying to convert me to your strange little religion.
Well, I guess I'll finish that lecture later. And I'll pass back to.
Okay.
I found this. I think it's what killed the dude.
So he
And I'll
shows
already
you
know
guys
what on
about a I don't know, maybe it's about a 1.5 foot long wire with rings on it, and it's almost as tall as he is, not quite, but and that's what he's showing you.
May I look at it?
Oh, go ahead. Not mine.
So, kind of, I don't necessarily know what a garrote looks like, but I mean, I've been around enough to see. Would this?
It looks like a garrote. I mean, it looks similar to a garrote. It may not be exactly a garrote, but it looks similar to one.
Like if I loop it like a garrote and put, is there anything I could tell by pulling it? Is there any type of? I don't know what I'm looking for here.
I don't know what you're looking for either. Otherwise,
Is there any type of 5-pointed star thing like?
No, there is not. It's 2 rings
Okay.
connecting with a wire between them. That's all it is. which again is similar to a garrote, but normally a garrote would not be exactly this.
It'd be smaller too,
Yep.
I would think.
Yep. However, that does jog something in your memory. Give me an intelligence check with advantage. A history check with
good,
advantage.
because I've been so good at this.
History with advantage.
Yeah.
Just Marcus.
Just Marcus.
Right. Marcus time
14.
It does jog your memory in the sense that you have heard. You have heard of a group of one of the thieves groups in Caer where you grew up. That one of those groups has a person, a known assassin called the Brute, which is odd. They call him the Brute because his signature is that he has a garrote that comes out of a ring, and when trapped around the thing, that when he pulls tight, the ring comes tight against somebody's neck, and that leaves a mark.
There we go.
Actually, they probably wouldn't have called him the Bird. They probably would have called him something else, but you get the gist of what's going on. What's also interesting, 14 is good enough for this as well.
Finally.
There haven't been any, at least in the last 6 to 9 months before you got on the ship, in the last 6 to 9 months. That was my next question. There haven't been any murders that have been attributed to that guy.
So, these bad news. Kind of tell Hylough what I think, so we could look for someone who's been on the ship from 6 to 9 months.
Okay.
There kind of was an assassin in the town I'm from. List of the traders and the merchants, like my family. Kind of nervous about him. You could always hire him, I guess, but I've heard some stories. But he's disappeared. So it's good. I mean, judging by the weapon, that would be kind of perfect that it comes out of
exactly.
But it didn't give any description of him, right? It didn't say he was like. There's no rumors. You'd have to be tall, I would think, to a halfling. You'd have to bend over to freaking strangle a halfling. So maybe we should ask True or someone else. I don't want to get True in trouble, but do we know who's been? How long has True been on the ship? She's been a month, I think.
She was like maybe a couple months. It hasn't been too long. She said she basically implied that she's only been through one or two raids, which haven't been that long.
I mean, we could mention it to Red. Red would know. And I'm sure that, having an assassin on the crew would actually be a benefit. Of course, the fact that he's killing people on the crew would be bad, but I don't know how you want to prevent that. But we need to find out who of the people we suspect have been on the ship that long. I don't think.
Before we tell Red what we think, we could just ask her.
Well, I don't want to accuse anyone. I was just going to say, do we know of anybody,
who's been on the ship? Yeah,
been on the ship who would know? We could talk to them. Maybe they have some theories about who, any type of feuds on the ship among the crew. That maybe that's how we can present it. That maybe that's why he was killed. Maybe
at this point, Lee says, that all sounds fanciful. Lisa's been there the whole time. It's like, you think that there's some assassin from a thieves group in Caer on our ship? That seems kind of crazy. What would they be here for?
What are we here for? We've been captured.
You're here because you owe the captain stuff for taking his things. That's different.
We can't be the only ones.
Well, if it's an assassin, they could be for any one of us, actually. But
how would they even know you were here?
Shanghai. Oh, obviously it's not me. I'd be dead. And he wouldn't have come on 4 to 6 months. It would have to be a long haul. I mean, I wouldn't think anyone was after the captain. That would be crazy that somebody would plant somebody in through. Yeah, that'd be awful. But, it's always worth talking to. And again, I'm just speaking out of turn here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know of anyone who's been here 6 to 9 months in that time period?
It's not for me to say. Why would I be helping you with your investigation? It's for you to figure out.
But you could be the next
I don't care
victim.
if that guy dies. It's no skin off my nose.
Well, what if you're the next victim? We don't know. Why did he kill? What's his name? You know.
I don't know. Why would I know? Maybe Drogo is a wanted man somewhere.
Maybe you're next because you have something he wants.
You know, that is curious. If you were one of man, evidence of the kill would be nice. Perhaps a toe or finger. What do they use for evidence if of an assassin's? Do I know of like?
Yeah, you're not sure.
Okay.
That 14 isn't enough for.
I know.
What potentially might have
and it could be completely off because I don't think a toe would necessarily, but it could be.
Yeah, it seems unlikely a toe would be used as evidence that you killed somebody. That being said, usually if somebody's dead, it's usually evidence enough.
Exactly.
Especially if it's important and if it's pretty obvious.
I'm just trying to connect dots.
No, I know. I'm just letting you know. Yep.
Look, Hylough, what do you think?
Yeah, well, so he's not convinced that he needs to help us.
Lise is just like, you guys are wasting my time.
Lise is it? What would you be doing? Would you go to the island?
I would love to have been doing other things like drinking my rum and relaxing for the day.
I mean, I would love to drink rum with you if you want. That would be much better on mine. But my friend,
I don't like you, so I wouldn't drink rum with you.
You don't even know me yet.
I know your kind.
Mm.
Well, we don't know your kind. We'd like to get to know more.
Well, why don't we go talk to Red?
Yeah, we can do that.
Do it.
All right, so you guys head back up.
Actually, but wait. Let's talk to the quartermaster, see if anyone has that ring or knows of the...
Yeah. Okay.
So you guys head over. Praedyth, you head back into the galley to try to start doing some stuff with the food. And you guys head over, and the quartermaster's name is Hamadi. At about this time, most everybody's made it through, and he's kind of starting to put some things away. It's maybe early, like 2 p.m.-ish, 2:30 in the afternoon kind of thing, approximately. And he looks up at you guys and he's like, "Oh, I thought everyone had been through. What can I sell to you? What can you buy from our captain?"
Information.
Are you there? Did you say that? Because that would be awesome.
Yeah, I was following you guys.
Okay. Go for it.
Information. You wish to buy information from me. Information does have value.
Yeah.
What do you wish to purchase? What information are you looking for?
How should I describe the ring?
And I will give you a price for it.
Should I just tell him it's a ring with the thingy on it?
Just a star on it, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know of anybody who has recently purchased or has a ring with a star on it?
Let's see. For this kind of information, it sounds as if you would like to purchase it for a silver piece.
It doesn't matter what price he gives us. We ain't got nothing.
That's not true. I've been gambling.
He does.
I'm too off of that. Dang it. Who else was gambling
copper,
that
please.
night?
What'd you say, Cole?
Who else was gambling that night? Gambling with me? Because I would need 2 more copper to make a silver base there.
Dresd'a
did she win, though? I don't know if she won.
Yeah, she won a couple times.
Yeah.
Amongst all of you, I know you have about a silver piece, maybe 1.2 silver pieces.
Anything I have, which is nothing, I'll contribute.
No, they gambled. Remember, they gambled that one night, and I think he got 6 silver, or 8 silver, or 8 copper.
Well, I got enough to recoup the losses of paying for myself and Iylis through the night.
Actually, Iylis, I think, won a couple coppers too.
Yeah, I think I had like 2. That was it.
Let me go. Talk to our compatriots, because it's definitely worth that.
You could also negotiate.
Oh, you know what? I could do that. I'll do some negotiating. All right.
It's worth a silver, maybe.
we could do 8 copper, and I shall roll persuasion.
What is this roll persuasion you are speaking of? I don't understand this.
How does 8 copper sound?
It sounds like you wish to chip me out of 2. Maybe
Wait,
there
he
is something
doesn't
else you can
have
offer
to.
me, as well as this 8 copper.
I don't know, man. They kind of took everything from me here.
Nice high five.
Oh my god. Seriously, come up with something else, like a favor. You know, these
Oh,
things.
yeah.
Like,
I'm-
negotiate,
I'm
man.
working with you, but you're not
Fine.
actually giving me an actual
Money.
negotiation.
If you ever
You've done a
need
good
help,
persuasion
Negotiations
roll.
were short.
That
if
doesn't
you
mean...
ever need help with anything, you come to me. That's
There's so
I'm
much new to this
offering
ship.
a favor.
We
here.
were
What?
on the island for a while, and there is information. I mean,
There is somewhat,
I think
you are somewhat new to this ship. I don't think you can help me very much.
No, but I mean, like, with, like,
let's
I don't know,
say
if anybody's
you,
giving you trouble with their prices or anything, and, you want to shut them
You
up.
came from the Cove, is that not correct?
Yeah.
8 copper.
Uh-huh.
And you give me... Did you look inside of the
I have to let the dog out with
various...
that.
Did you look inside of the various crates that were in there?
I believe so, yes.
You tell me what was in the large crate in the back. And you understand what he's talking about. There's a large crate back there. That plus the 8 copper, I will give you the information you seek.
Was in the large crate in the back? Was that the
I
drugs?
think the large crate was the drugs, yeah.
That was the one set. There was several things in there, but you can give me an intelligence check, a history check, and you can determine if you actually.
Yes.
How
See,
much
the
of it you
question
remember?
there is, was it the drugs with the sorcery enhancement drugs?
Hylough doesn't remember, but Aaron, you
I
might
thought I
remember.
remembered.
Or was it the drugs that Dresd'a had drugs?
All right, Aaron, you remember a few of the things in there, and one of them that you remember was in the bigger one was the drugs that taste like sugar to anybody who's not a sorcerer.
Yeah, okay. There was, in the crate, there was a variety of things, but the one I think you're hinting at here is there's this sort of sugary tasting substance in there. Didn't really do anything for us, but I noticed that when Iylis ate it, he had a spring to his step.
I don't think Iylis ever took any, but
No, he had some.
okay. I don't
I
think he
had a little
did because
bit.
Rux figured out what it was right away and immediately, basically,
Didn't even let me try.
made it off limits to everybody pretty
Oh.
much. But,
Well, my point still
he
stands.
says, copper.
Oh yeah, I'll give him the copper.
I know of only
Brent?
one. I only know of one person who has a ring with a star.
I want to look at our bodyguard, by the way, what she's doing.
All right,
Or,
you can give me a perception roll while he's saying. He
Perfect.
says,
Thank you.
Hamadi says, actually, yeah, do that, and then
You know, I should just fight things. This is just not for me.
Can I help him?
you can get no because he got 2 8s. It doesn't do anything wrong. But you
Can I
can
do it
give me
myself?
you can give me an intuition check. There's only one person who has such a thing.
Intuition.
Intuition.
Uh,
Insight.
and he got
Insight.
Yes,
Okay.
insight.
Well,
She is a redhead.
yes.
Can I give him bardic inspiration? Or is it too late?
It's too late. She is a
And-
redhead. And
and do
she
you
goes
know-
by the name of Myrrh.
Hmm.
Your insight. Yeah, you don't notice anything with Lise. She just sits there. She just stands there and she's shaking her head, and that's about it, but nothing else.
Thank you for your information.
But I guess she would probably say, what, you're going to blame this on Myrrh? Really?
Yep, that's the plan.
Uh,
I don't say that.
Oh,
just
sure
because
she
you
has
guys,
an
just because
explanation.
you guys have a beef with her, doesn't mean that she's the one that did this.
No, I'm just saying there's an explanation. I mean, I'm sure she has one.
Just
I'd love to
realized
hear
I
it.
muted while I was eating food. I'm sorry. I was asking if I could roll insight to see if the dude lied.
Which dude?
The
I paid him
quartermaster.
well.
Oh,
I
you
paid
can
him well.
you can do that. No one did that
paid
for
him.
that particular
He has no
thing.
reason to hold up the bargain. He can say whatever he wants.
He can.
Yeah, but I paid him money. He's a
Does he
nice
care?
guy. He's a
Um,
nice
okay.
He seems
guy.
to be saying, seems to be on the up and up.
Ah, yes. Very cool.
I just for now.
Can I help him?
No,
I'm still
you
waiting
can't
for
help
murder
him.
coming out. Yeah.
Insight is personal.
No.
I know you're waiting on Myrrh. You know what? As far as you know, Myrrh is still talking to the Alec, but maybe not.
Yeah, I know.
Because you haven't
I
checked.
might check in there. Why is there no like window on the door or anything like that?
Not really. No, it's crew quarter. Why do you have a door on the door, a window on the door into your bedroom there, Robert?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's a nice big window, so
That's
everyone
weird.
can see in.
Nice. Yep. What are you guys doing?
I think someone
I
else
guess we
should go in.
should check in on Myrrh then.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to give Myrrh okay?
No.
Maybe you go talk to Red.
Yeah.
Oh,
Got first. to see
Yeah,
if
that's
it's
probably a
worth
better
even
idea.
Bothering her. I mean, I don't
Let's
want
make the case. Make the case to Red.
lay out all of our facts.
And now I'm going to look back at our bodyguard again and try to another perception.
For
That's
what?
okay. See if she is going to go warn her, or what type of reaction she has, if any. Or if she's just following us and there's no
Yeah,
reaction.
you guys are heading up towards the thing. She's following you. She's supposed to be your.
Okay.
She's supposed
Let's
to be
go
with
see
you when
Red.
All right, so you guys head up. Red is on the deck, kind of moving around on the deck. You approach. She kind of looks puzzled a little bit, and she's like, "Yes, what can I do for you? I thought I told you to do your investigation."
We're here to make our case. We're here to make our case. I think we have
Or at
found.
least discuss what you think about this.
Mhm.
I see.
We have
think we have a
found
lead.
individual pieces that point to specific things, and we come to lay them out.
I see. And do you wish to speak it out into the open, or would you like to go sit somewhere and talk about it?
Be better not in the open. I
Hey,
think.
why don't we all go?
Go to where? What are you talking about?
Go in wherever we talk in private.
Well, I will just take you up to the poop deck. We can speak up there.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
And make sure Lee comes with us. Is that her name, Lee? I wrote it down.
Lise.
Lise. Damn it.
All right, so you guys head up. Lise comes to the base of the stairs and stays there.
Okay.
She knows what you're going to say. Why would she go all the way up there?
Yeah, no, I know. I just want to.
Or at least she has an idea of what you
might
might say because she's been with you through the whole thing. So,
Yeah.
Red goes and kind of stands along the railing and stares toward the island, and she says, "So you wish to make a case? What is the case that you wish to do?" I wish I could get back into my Eastern European accent. But
So who's presenting this?
You are,
me.
because I got no charisma, so I can't
Iylis,
convince anybody.
you've been waiting out the door, and Myrrh comes out the door at that point. Or comes out of the corridors at about that point. Anyway, you guys continue.
Okay.
I'm gonna let them talk
So-
first.
You want us to talk first?
I'm just gonna keep an eye on her.
So when we examine the body, it had marched around the neck like it had been strangled, garroted.
Is that enough?
That is a specific type of wound. Not many people can do that. Not many people can do that. It is a quiet way.
If you have the correct tool, anyone can do it.
Right. We also noticed there's a ring imprint. If you notice the body, is the body still here? By the way, I hope.
No, the body's been put into the
On
ocean.
overboard.
Yeah.
We should have thought of that. there was a imprint of a 5-pointed appearance of a ring into the side of the throat, and we believe that's what happened. In my homeland, there are legends of an assassin who would kill people like this. The legend, the deaths and the jobs for that assassin stopped. What do you say, 4 to 6 months ago?
Something like that.
6 to 9 months ago.
9 months ago.
And
Perhaps when someone came on your crew, there was also some red hair on the body, and the toe has been taken by a knife. The significance,
We still can't account for the toe, but
Cannot account for the
the significance of that is, I don't know, but perhaps an assassin came on the ship to do whatever, the long haul. Myrrh fits all of those categories, and she's reluctant to speak with us. Perhaps you could convince her to.
So let me get this straight. Scabs, as one of his lieutenants, as I like to call them, give you a hard time. And you now wish to blame this on them. Is this what I am hearing?
No, I do not wish to blame him on him. I
on
wish to
Scabs.
with the possible killer.
I
To me,
feel that because you have run across some of these people, that you wish to pin the blame on them to get them away out of your hair for the time being. That's the feeling I get. Do you have any evidence? Do you have any actual physical evidence of this?
Well, if we could find the ring that she has that she's been seen wearing.
So you wish for me to give you carte blanche to search through everyone's belongings?
No, not everyone.
Why don't you search for them? If
We
I
were
mean,
hoping that you would.
I have worked. I have had. Murder has been on my crew on this crew for the better part of a year, so I feel no need to question her loyalty. I feel more of a need to question yours.
Oh,
You've
I mean,
been
it's
on here for
accusation
no more than 4 days. Oh, actually, we're going on to 5 now. And while the captain wishes to give you the benefit of the doubt, I am not as inclined, especially given the fact that you are come to me with these flimsy evidence that maybe someone who has been here for far longer than you, that you have had a run-in with, is the perpetrator.
Well, then why would we investigate at all? Because everyone has been here longer than we have.
I do not dispute what you are saying. But
Also,
if you had some kind of actual evidence to present,
well,
then
didn't we show you the? Did we not
Anna.
show them the ring, the bruises, and we talked about that, and
Sure,
we
the
talked about the
bruises.
hair.
Sure, fair enough. Maybe there is
But
bruising.
we don't have a weapon.
But do you have the ring?
so you guys,
Well, how are we going to
Later,
get the
Brian.
ring? I mean, you're asking us. You're asking for evidence that we cannot go get, and we
Well,
cannot do that. So, I mean, think about it. I mean, you're asking
That
us
is
to
not
prove
my
something.
problem. That is not my problem, Truman.
Apologies.
I have a person in my custody who has the actual items from the murder victim. Unless you can provide me with something else that shows that he is not the perpetrator. Tomorrow evening when we weigh anchor 24 hours from now, he will be keelhauled. Along with Tegwin, because she has stolen something from the captain.
The dagger.
Yes.
It was
So, if you were in our position, what would you do?
I wouldn't be sticking my neck out for someone that you say is not someone you're a personal friend with.
agreed.
That is what I would be doing. But you have put yourself into this position, so come up with something creative. I will say 2 things. Mostly because I believe in giving you a sporting chance. 1, murder, get you keelhauled. 2, theft of the captain's items, Did you keelhauled?
If
So there-
you if you
maybe-
keelhaul the wrong person
I don't care.
and murder happens again, then is that not blood on your hands?
My hands are already dripping red.
Yeah, you got a point there.
One more body.
I haven't
is
actually
not going
seen
to
you
do
in
that.
action, so I don't really know.
One more body is going to not do anything to my leisure.
All right.
He texted
Just
I have no connection.
but
with
what
this
if it's
sack.
your body? What if it's your body? What if he comes after this person?
I
or
don't believe
whatever?
anybody here on the ship is here to kill me.
Well, I certainly hope not.
I'm kind of backing off of this point.
Marcus and Hylough, you realize that what she's implying is that nobody currently on the ship is here to kill her.
Nobody currently on the ship is to be killed. Is that what it
Is
says?
here to kill her.
Yeah.
That is what she's implying.
But there are people that are off the ship.
Iylis has got some insight going there.
Oh,
Yeah, like the captain
Maybe he was hired to come on the ship.
to kill the captain.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you have
But
found
there's people that are
you have
currently
found some
on the
very
way
intriguing things, and it's very possible that your man Sand is his name, the crewman you know, doesn't have anything to do with this. However, he is the one with the items. Unless you can provide me with something else, I will have to recommend to the captain that he is the perpetrator.
Is this right?
I understand.
You still have 24 hours, so you have plenty of time.
Thank you, Red.
Yes.
Hey,
thank you for your
Marcus.
time.
Don't thank me. I am just here to give you the chance that you have gotten.
Hey, Marcus.
Slightly bow and walk away.
All right. Myrrh kind of comes by you, Iylis, and just kind of bumps you as she goes by. I mean, do you wish to say anything?
Hey, listen. We had a
She
we had a
briefly
couple
turns and looks
questions
at
to
you and
ask
says,
you.
Well, I have no answers for you. So, good luck. I am under no obligation to help you on anything. Enjoy your stay here on this ship. And she continues on.
Hey.
So, Marcus, what
But
was
you
the
guys are
name
coming
of the,
down as that exchange happens. Go ahead.
what was the name of the person, the assassin?
It was a bruiser, but I think it's gotten changed. I don't think.
Yeah, the brute isn't the right name. I mean, there was definitely a distinctive mark. It wasn't a star though. But you know, there was multiple. I guess the best way to put it, you had what, a 14 on that?
Yeah.
So the signifying thing for the murders was a garrote. Beyond that, you weren't 100%. You aren't 100% sure of if there's anything else specific about it.
Okay.
But let me rephrase that. Garrote, like
An
I mentioned,
garrote.
like I mentioned, that probably comes from a ring.
Okay, it's an actual. It's probably not
Like an actual
the
garrote,
improvised.
not like an
it's not
improvised garrote.
kitchen
Correct.
tool.
Yes, correct.
That's what I was kind of thinking.
And even the more you think about it, the more you think that that particular metal wire probably would have cut into his neck if you pulled it tight enough. And this thing only barely got into it. It turned everything red, kind of thing.
Mhm.
So it cut in a little bit, but not as much as that wire probably would. Which
Okay.
would imply some other thing that was being used.
Hey, Marcus. How easily do you think you could snatch that ring off her finger?
From a master assassin?
That's implying that she isn't a master assassin. We're just trying to get evidence,
As the
right?
ring, it's a good probability she has a master assassin. However,
Yeah.
Did you
doubt
see a
she-
ring on her finger
I
when
was
she
going to
went
say,
by?
I doubt she's wearing
Did
this
I?
I
moment.
don't know. You didn't say you were looking for one.
Well, I thought
What's your passive perception?
my passive is like 11.
You didn't notice a ring on her finger as she went by.
Man, I should have checked.
And she beds down in the officers' quarters, or she part of
No,
our...
she's down in the common area. What do you guys want to do?
Well, until I roll better, I'm not going to do a damn thing.
I just don't know what to do. I'm sort of stuck here. I'm like,
Well, I mean, she's hidden
Yeah, I
it
don't know
somewhere.
where
We know
we
she's
can
hidden
go
it,
from
or
this.
the killer's hidden it. We don't know unless we find a witness who...
There's a couple things that would be clear, definitive evidence that, if found, would be clear, definitive evidence of who actually did it.
The toe.
One would be the murder weapon. The other one would be the toe. But there's also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 6 people working that night. You've literally talked to one. The second one that you've been trying to talk to has blown you off twice now. There are still 3 other people that you could talk to, because the 6th person is dead. So hard to talk to him. But there are still 3 other people that you could talk about what happened that night.
I also had thought about maybe asking around to see if maybe the Drogo had gotten into any arguments recently with people, specifically Mer, but in general.
Or find out what his past was. He pissed off that might have gotten an assassin to kill him.
Yeah.
well, let's go find the next person.
We
That's
should talk to more people who
Actually, do we know anything about that chain? It's obviously worth a lot. Does anyone know? Is it a noticeable item? Where would he have gotten that?
No,
I mean,
no
maybe
one,
family heirloom?
you could probably ask him, but no one else. No,
he's
you haven't
dead.
asked anybody else about it. You haven't asked anybody.
Well, no, I'm just throwing it out there or something we could do to look at. But yeah, we really need to find either the pinky or the weapon and do it quick. And we need to find it on the killer. But yeah, talking to the other people to see when maybe she stashed it. Actually, could it be, did we look into the actual sweat torture chamber at all? Could it still be there?
What do you mean?
The actual chamber that the body was found.
I did.
Hylough looked in it. He didn't find anything.
Okay.
Where were you looking for exactly? The chain?
Any of the above is what I was looking
the
for.
toe or the chain or whatever.
No, I mean, the chain that the necklace was on was with the necklace in Sand's thing. And you did not find any toe or a ring or anything like that around the sweatbox.
Right. I'm just looking for where she may have stashed it. But like I said, talking to the other people, they may say where she was, or maybe they'll give us some type of location to look around to see what happened. So let's go talk to the other people. But
right, who do you want to talk to?
10 o'clock, guys.
Who do you want to talk to? Freya, Arl, Needy. Those are the other 3.
Oh yeah, be great. Let's do it. Start somewhere.
Yeah. The Norse goddess.
Freya is a human woman. She is currently mid-deck, or no, she's currently in the bottom deck when you find her. She seems to be drinking some rum. And she looks up to you guys and she's like, oh no, I was expecting you guys might try to talk to me. I was just hoping it wouldn't be till tomorrow or something. What do you want?
Yeah, we're on a bit of a time crunch. Sorry about that. We're just wondering what you saw.
She looks at you pointedly. It's like, you want to know what I saw? Well, I didn't see much. Because
like what exactly happened?
My all I saw was Sand, your boy. He was originally up in the crow's nest. He was relieved by Needy at some point. I don't remember exactly when. I was mostly dealing with ropes for a while, and then I was swabbing the deck, the poop deck and the forward deck. I remember seeing Sand and Needy talk for a bit up on the crow's nest, and then he came down, and then he started moving ropes around, and I remember him Sorry, I'm looking at my stuff. And that's all the last I remember seeing him because I was doing my thing. So every now and then I was looking up. Soon enough, it was pretty much close to the morning. We were able to head down into the hold, and that's about all I got.
Well, what about Drogo? You were swapping the deck with him, right?
Yeah. Yes, I was for a while, but remember he was doing the main deck. I was up on the poop deck and the fore deck. I can't always see him. He's short.
Well, did you? So did he just like? Was he? That was the last thing you saw him doing was swabbing.
Yep, that is true.
And then all of a sudden he wasn't there.
I mean, I wasn't keeping track of the boy. At some point, my shift was done. I went downstairs. It doesn't mean he's not for me to keep track of.
He was kind of a relatively quiet guy. Has he been on the ship for a while?
That's a good question. He predates me, if that's what you're asking. I've been on the ship for about a little over a year, maybe 14 months, something like that.
Just seems like he was kind of wouldn't be someone who'd piss someone off to take his head off type thing. I mean, and the necklace obviously is going to go back to the captain or whoever. It's not going to. What will happen to the necklace?
Say that again, sorry.
Okay. What will happen to the necklace now? I mean, you can't hawk it. It's been bound.
I don't know. It's not for me to worry about.
I'm trying to figure out why someone would kill him. If he just he's having problems. Like, he seemed like a nice enough guy. I mean, for a pirate, it's for all of us have our history.
We're not all. You may think that we're all pirates here on the pirate ship, but some of us are just crew members trying to make a living. Just happens to be piracy.
Apologies. A sailor's life is rough at best, so we do what we must.
So what was the name of our suspect? I can't remember. Right. Myrrh. Okay, so did you see Myrrh around?
For first half of the night.
And
but again, I'm not keeping track of everybody. It's not my charge. My charge was making sure the ship is clean.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you do a great job. Just trying to make sure that you.
No one does a great job. It's a fucking ship. It's always dirty.
Work hard. Yes. So just asking what you saw. That's all. Whatever you saw.
I saw them earlier. I didn't necessarily keep track of them the whole night. I definitely remember sand coming down. I definitely remember him going below deck for a brief bit and coming back up top. That's all I got.
Okay.
Drogo was around in the main deck. He did a bunch of stuff, moved some things around. He's kind of a rigging guy normally, so he did some rigging stuff. I remember that. But I didn't keep prior tracks of his whereabouts. And, we get done at some point here in the morning, and, none of us necessarily keep track of that. I do remember that when I got to my bunk in the morning, he wasn't there. That's about it. Sand was there, though. That I do remember.
Do you, on a bit of a different note, do you know if Drogo had any problems with people, or was he just kind of doing fine?
May have been kind of kept to himself a bit. He was a pretty decent rigger, but at the same time, there's a certain, and she kind of looks a little bit. She looks around. So at this point, you guys actually, as she's looking around, at this point, you guys notice that Lisa's not with you. And then Freya kind of leans in a bit closer to you guys and says, "There's sort of a two sides to this crew. Yeah, you might have already noticed it. There's those who lick the boots of Scabs and the Master Gunner, and then there's those of us who just are trying to get by."
Which was Drogo on? Trying to get by?
Drogo was trying to get by. She kind of
But
leans
what
back
we've done to
again.
make the other group mad.
I don't know. Sometimes they just do stuff because they can.
Not a good place to be for people around people that can do
Could
that.
be worse. Could be worse. I mean, just because there's one group and another, the captain for the most part tries to be even-handed to both things. Even the first mate's not too far into one camp or the other. It's just Scabs that tries to promote this crap. I don't know what his end game is, but enough of us finally were to get upset and bring it to the attention of others. I'm sure he would
back off.
Back off, maybe, possibly. It's also possible that, maybe he's angling for something. I don't know. I'm just keeping my head down, doing my job.
Understood.
Go talk to the next person.
If you want.
Yeah.
We can do whatever you want. Or we can go long. We can go long tonight or not.
I'm gonna have to drop here. Cat's already out asleep, so
okay.
I'm gonna have to drop here. But you guys are welcome to keep going. I mean, I'm trying to stay in the background as much as I can. That's kind of how Marcus is playing this.
Well, if we drop down to 4, I don't want to drop down to 4. Like we've already lost.
I'm just kind of trying to figure it all out in my head right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think we know who did it.
We'll call it there for tonight, and we'll pick it up again next week.
Okay.
I think we have a good idea who did it, but
we don't know how to.
We can't blindly accuse her. Because
I will ask: is the Scab like the captain?
You're asking that of who?
Of the person we were just talking to.
I don't know. I'm not privy to what Scabs does or does not lack, or what his previous. I know Scabs has been on here for at least almost as long, if not longer, than the first mate. And they've been here with the captain for quite a while, from what I understand.
Gotta have discipline on a ship, I guess. Just wish it was more even-handed. Thank you.
Sure. You didn't hear any of this from me, though.
Of course not.
And
hear any of this at all.
You've learned the right tone for this ship.
Hope so.
And you guys head away, and as you turn and start walking, you notice that Myrrh is sitting across the way, and she's kind of staring at you guys. Iylis is nowhere to be found. Neither is you don't see them in the hold here. Neither is Khan or which is the heavier set guy that you tried to block you in before. So those two are known associates with Myrrh. They aren't in there. They aren't down there anymore. But Myrrh's kind of staring at you guys a little bit. And we'll stop there.
Does she have a ring? Does she have a ring on?
Looking from this distance, you don't see one. Pretty easy to put a ring in your pocket, though.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a locate spell?
I do not know.
I am the only spellcaster, or the only real spellcaster. And
Wow.
Get dunked, kid. And unfortunately, all I have are frosty spells.
Yeah, I've got to identify, and I can disguise myself, but I don't know what I'm going to disguise myself at. All right.
So we'll stop there and pick it up next time. You guys are wanting to try to potentially interview either Arl or Needy on the next time.
Yeah, unless Merle starts a fight, which may be the only way we actually
maybe
figure this out.
Technically, have any evidence yet?
Oh, I know.
You won't know. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens next time.
All right.
And
very cool.
There we end.